so far. A fly out to center field for Sankara. The East have 3 times the runs as the West do hits. Samuel Sheeping, the pinch hitter, will face new pitcher Po. Infield hit for Sheeping as the second baseman will grab the ball but not make the throw. Backstop launches that to right. Dusty backstop, a 2-home run day. Backstop 386 feet to straightaway right field. The East are up now 8-0. 2 huge home runs from Dusty backstop. Maybe they like playing third base. Maybe they should play third base now. Someone put backstop over at third base. They might have a future there. To say nothing of the defensive needs of the position. Just they seem to hit better there. A fly out by Dan Thunder, the pinch hitter, brings up Skovgaard. 2 outs, nobody on. A base hit for Skovgaard down the line and right. The East have scored in every inning so far except for the first. And 7 of their runs coming off the long ball. Narukami, a base hit into center field. There's a grand slam for Paulie Wag in the third, and then 2 home runs for Dusty backstop, 1 in the second and a 2-run homer in the fifth. Ground out by Willie Wacker to end the inning. We head to the top of the 6th now. It'll be Michael de Nostradam pitching against Axel Babineau, who draws a walk. Coleman Carver pinch hitting, and they line out right to the left fielder. 1 away. Here's Bob's Big Boy, excuse me. Another line out to left, 2 down. Runner at first for Chaco. Here in the top of the 6th. It's going to be Dean Ice pinch hitting. Stealing the second is Babineau. So they're in scoring position now with 2 outs. The pitch to Ice. And a ground out to short will end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th with the Eastern Division coming up to see if they can add on to their 8-run lead. It will be Ottoman Timothy versus Ingrid Keelhaller. And Timothy gets a base hit into left. They're 1 for 2 on the day. There's Ganja Smoke now, or maybe they'll pull Ganja Smoke for a pinch hitter. It will be McScooty Fortune, who strikes out on the 1-2 sinker ball. Sheeping will pop out to the shortstop, who pushes the pitcher out of the way to get to that one. They have a little confrontation on the mound, I guess. Dusty backstop will draw a walk. Backstop is 3 for 3 with a walk today. That is incredible. What a day for the catcher. They're now playing catcher, actually. Look at that. They made a defensive change to catcher to accommodate Wacker. Femhausen, though, will fly out to end the inning. We head to the top of the 7th with Ben Martin leading us off with a double, the 3rd hit of the day for the West. Leadoff double for Martin brings up Stitcherson. It's Cass Sills-Crumbling. Castle's Crumbling. Got it. Okay, I got it. I'm like, I knew that's a meme. I know that's supposed to be a pun. It didn't come to me right away. Stitcherson strikes out Delvecchio. The new DH draws a walk. Majima will fly out to right. So now it's 2 outs, first and second. Martin on second, Delvecchio on first for Sankara. Line drive right to the shortstop. And that will end it for the West in the top of the 7th here. It's time for the stretch, and we head to the bottom half of the inning with Thunder, Skovgaard, and Narukami due up. We'll see if those are the actual players that bat against Joe Calloway, the new pitcher for this inning. Thunder strikes out, Skovgaard grounds out, and that brings up Narukami. And a sharp grounder to second base will retire to the side. 1, 2, 3 go to the East, as they seem to have quieted a bit since the backstop 2-run home run in the 5th. Western Division will face Joshua Home III, Esquire Limited, the new pitcher. Clement Kamenik, pinch hitting, will strike out. Vilkova, the 3rd baseman. Did they come in as a defensive sub? I didn't see them pinch. Yeah, they don't have an at-bat yet. Vilkova will ground out. That brings up Bob's Big Boy. 2 outs, nobody on. Drive up the middle, but it's caught by the center fielder. And that will finish off the top of the 8th, which means the West will need to score 8 runs at least in the top of the 9th just to tie this one up. Whamageddon, the new pitcher. Whacker will pop fly out in shallow foul territory to the catcher. I say shallow, but I think that implies actually somewhere in front of the plate. Timothy will get a base hit to left. Their second hit of the ball game. Ocean Man, but it is Person Man. McSkewy Fortune going to strike out. And Sheeping will strike out as well. Siders retired, nothing on 1 hit for the East. And we'll see if the West can actually put some runs on the board here in the top of the 9th. Their last chance, it's going to be against Junior O'Callahan. Dean Ice will ground out to shortstop, 1 down. Yun Sung, the pinch hitter. And a base hit into the corner. They're heading for second, and they will be safe with a double. Great hit for Sung, and now it will bring up Stitcherson. No, it's going to be Kif Croker, the pinch hitter. They ground out to second, though, and now it's 2 outs. West down to their last out to try to make something happen in this all-star game. Del Vecchio, fly ball, that will do it. That will end the ball game 8-0 in favor of the East. And not only was their hitting all-star quality in this game, but their pitching was certainly all-star caliber. Only 4 hits total for the West as they struggle and are unable to put up any runs on the board. I think some of the West players are pretty happy that these stats aren't going to be reflected in their regular season statistics, but Dusty Backstop going to be your player of the game. The win goes to Adventuring. The loss will go to Papelbottom. 1 hit. Castle's Crumbling, the only one to allow more than 1 base runner with a hit and a walk. There was an error too, I suppose, right? Oh no, that was against the West anyway, so. Yes, Sills Crumbling, the only one to allow more than 1 base runner. Everyone else, fantastic for the East pitching. Congratulations to the Eastern Division for winning the All-Star game here in the minor leagues. We're going to head to the major leagues and their All-Star game as well. Before we do that, let's save real quick. All right. Majors All-Star game, here we are. Do we have a prediction going for this one? I know we just finished the other one. Yeah, the other one just ended, so hope maybe we'll be able to get another prediction going for this one. Majors All-Star Game. I've done the All-Star Game streams for quite a few seasons now. And something that I like to do is try to highlight players who maybe they were in the minor league All-Star Game, but they weren't in the Majors All-Star. They haven't been in the Majors All-Star Game yet. So I try to highlight those players in particular. So let me go over the list real quick here, see if there's any people in the starting lineup. I'm not seeing... Let's see, Summers, no. Littleton, no. I have a list here of first-time All-Stars in terms of Majors All-Star games. So these players might have played in the minor league All-Star game, but did not play in the Majors All-Star game. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong list here. Les Scoden, the leadoff hitter, the DH, their first Majors All-Star game. Cassius Considerations, the shortstop, hitting at number 8 position as well. I'm not seeing Baltz or McFly Jr. for the Legends or De La Fuerte. They'll probably come off the bench. And then Sebastian Primo, the center fielder, in their rookie season, showing up for their first All-Star game. And also Tater McCheesy, the number 9 hitter. So both the number 9 hitters making it into the starting lineup in their rookie season. So big congratulations to both Primo and McCheesy for that accomplishment. And as mentioned, Scoden in Considerations on the Legends side. And then on the Champions side, I'm not seeing that player. I am seeing Bradley Wellerman Jr., the third baseman, and Waxilium Summers, both of which in their first Majors All-Star game. They've had a couple of seasons in the Majors underneath their belts. But they haven't made it to the All-Star game yet. So first-time All-Stars in Waxilium Summers, Bradley Wellerman Jr., Tater McCheesy for the Champions, Les Scoden, Cassius Considerations, and Sebastian Primo for the Legends Conference. So congratulations to all 6 of you for making it into the starting lineups as well. The other players we'll see off the bench. We have 8 pitchers in total between the two sides, 5 from the Legends, 3 from the Champions, and then also we'll have 3 more hitters from the Legends that will probably come off the bench, and 2 hitters for the Champions Conference as well. We have a prediction that is currently running. The winner of the Majors All-Star Game, so if you want to try and gamble your channel points, please do that now, as we're about to get started here. Are there any, chat, I know we took a look at this in the Minors All-Star Game. Is there anyone playing, like, egregiously out of position for the Majors All-Star Game that I'm just not noticing? Just taking a look at the, Isn't Cortez a shortstop for Cancun? Or did they switch? Oh, Cortez is a first baseman. Wasn't Cortez a shortstop at some point? I can't be wrong, right? Let me see Cortez's page. Okay, yeah, they were a shortstop for most of their career. Okay, I wasn't tripping. Okay, yeah, from shortstop to power. Okay, so now they're first base, but they're playing center field. Detroit has quite a few players in the starting lineup. Let's take a look at them real quick. Anyone? Let's see. Nerd, Bobrist, and Summers. Nerd usually plays first base. They're playing first base here. Bobrist second base. That's fine. Summers just making a shift from left field to right field. So nothing too crazy out of the ordinary for the Demons. Leon Rosenthal is typically the catcher. He's playing shortstop. We got another catcher playing shortstop. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, I could just check him like this here. Launch angle first base, Nerd first base, Cortez first base. AJ Justice usually plays shortstop, and he's playing left field. So wait, hold on. Okay. So you could have put Justice at shortstop. Yeah, I guess Leon Rosenthal would be sitting then, but oh well. Weatherman Jr. at third base instead of shortstop. What about over here? Center field, that checks out. That checks out. Rodrigo Wallach is usually a catcher playing third base. I guess that's not too crazy. Satchel Richards playing first base as a catcher, also not super crazy. Rob Littleton, usually first base, plays the left field. Summers, first base, plays right field. How many first basemen do they have in their lineup? Oh, just the 2? Brian Payne is a catcher, plays second base. So are there... Wait, catcher, second base. So aside from catcher's considerations, who is playing the normal position, the Legends have 3 catchers playing the infield. And Brian Payne at second base, Satchel Richards at first base, and Rodrigo Wallach at third. And you had Len Scoden right there. You could have put Scoden at third and Wallach at DH. Like, okay. I love the All-Star Games, man. I love the All-Star Games. That's been plenty of time to get the prediction rolling. We're going to get into the All-Star Game. That is really funny. 3 catchers. Leon Rosenthal has just a dash where their defense should be. Oh, that's really funny. Just a dash. All right, let's go ahead and get on into game here. First pitch is coming up, and it's already 2-2. War and Peace on the mound. Let's go in with a base hit in their first All-Star game. Their first Majors All-Star game, I should say. Here's Brian Payne. Now he's going to get past the catcher, so Scoden will take off for second. Only one person in this entire Legends Conference lineup has a stolen base, and it's Akshay Hrishikesh. Just one. And no one on the Champions Conference has any. Summers will fly out to right. That's 2 down. Scoden still at second base. Here's Littleton. Grounder to short, over to first in timeout number 3. Quick 1-2-3 inning for the Legends' first half. Now we head to the Champions Conference with Justice Cortez and Nerd due up against Chad Innings Eater, the starting pitcher for the Legends. Justice draws a walk. I'll bring up Cortez. A bunt laid down to the pitcher, thrown on to second. That's going to be in time. So fielder's choice. Probably not what you want out of a bunt attempt from Cortez. Now you have a runner on first with one down, but it's going to be two down now after Alpha Nerd strikes out. Launch angle, pop fly to the second baseman, and that's going to be caught. So no runs scored in the first inning. We head to the top of the second for the Legends. Here's Hirishikesh against Arya Blue Sky. Blue Sky going to be a player that we're keeping an eye on a little bit later in the sim. They're chasing a milestone, 100 wins on the career. They just need one more diving grab at first base by Alpha Nerd. Retires Satchel Richards on the line drive. Now Rodrigo Wallach, a base hit down the line and left. They're going to be wheeling into second with a double. 2-out double for Wallach. So it'll be up to considerations to try and bring them home. And possibly Primo if... Nope. Considerations is going to strike out on the 2-2 pitch. Side is retired. I was going to say if Considerations walked, then it'd be up to Primo, but... It'll be Thor Lore pitching now for the Legends. As Zen Bobris singles to right. Yes, we are doing regular season sim after this. We will be doing... we will be simming all the way to July 14th. I don't remember exactly how many games that covers, but we will be streaming at least 3 primetime games tonight. We'll be doing some quick sims in between those as well, so it won't just be those 3 days. Bobrist on board at first. Summers flies out to left. It's 2 outs. Bringing up Bradley Wellerman Jr. And strike 3 on the 2-2. Thor Lore retires Wellerman Jr. and still no score as we head to the top of the third. I apologize for the dog barking in the background. Primo going to ground out to the pitcher, 1 down. Now it's going to be Skoden and Payne due up against J.Y. Park, who's the pitcher for this inning. Skoden strikes out 2 down. 6 majors games. Thank you, Dukeston. I appreciate that. Brian Payne going to ground out to first base on a quick 1-2-3 inning for J.Y. Park. Clean inning for the Legends defense. No score in this ball game. I say Legends defense, I meant Champions defense. Tater McCheesy coming to the plate for the Champions. They'll draw a walk in their first Majors All-Star game at bat. Ice Bear, the new pitcher, they are a first-time All-Star as well for the Majors All-Star game. A single by AJ Justice makes it first and second with nobody out. Bunt attempt, no luck. And a line drive up the middle for Cortez. Bases loaded for Alpha Nerd, who has 10 home runs on the season. 310 batting average. And they will strike out here. Bases loaded, 1 out for launch angle. Line drive to left field. And that will be thrown in quickly enough to not score a run. 2 down, bases still loaded. Zen Bobrist, line drive to the second baseman, and Ice Bear gets out of the jam. They load the bases with nobody out, and the Champions do not score. Top of the 4th we go, and Zachary Vega III will be the pitcher for this inning, and will face Summers and potentially Littleton and Hirishikesh, unless we see some pinch hitters here. Summers struck out. Littleton will get a base hit to center field, though. Now here's Hirishikesh. Grounder to third, over to second, over to first. 5-4-3, double play to end the inning. Great defense by the Legends. That's why they are all-stars. We head to the bottom of the 4th now. Rosenthal, Summers, and Wellerman due up against Iceman, the new pitcher. Rosenthal, deep drive to center field. It's going to drop in front of the warning track. The center fielder looks like they outran it a little bit. And Rosenthal will have a leadoff double here in the 4th. Summers draws a walk. Cutter misses low. Now here's Wellerman Jr. Struck out on the 2-2 curve. And now it's going to be 1 out for Tater McCheesy, who strikes out as well. This one on the cutter ball. AJ Justice to the plate. grounds to third, and they'll take it themselves at third base for the force out. Inning is over. We head to the top of the fifth with still no score and only 7 hits between these two teams. Pitching really coming in clutch here for both sides. Satchel Richards will strike out against new pitcher John Cowgill. Rodrigo Wallach draws a walk on the 3-1 pitch. Lays off the fastball low and outside. Cash's Considerations will strike out on the 1-2 cutter ball. And now here's Sebastian Primo, and that's going to be off the glove of the shortstop. Infield single is the ruling, no error. Wallach makes their way to second base, and now it's first and second for D.W. Dog Maple, the pinch hitter. Sliding catch in center field by Cortez. The first baseman out there showing their athleticism in one of the toughest positions defensively. And now we head to the bottom of the fifth. Pass pinch hitting will pass on running the bases here as they strike out. Zach Johnson, the third pinch hitter, will fly out to center field. Now that brings up launch Angle, potentially, unless they pinch hit for Angle here. Nope, it's going to be Angle versus Carlos Crash. And a base hit into left center field. Launch Angle into second with a double. Carlos Crash, another one of these first-time All-Star players. And they were cruising up until that double, but they get Zenbobris to ground out to shortstop to end the inning. So no damage done against Carlos Crash. We head to the top of the sixth. Still no score. Mac John, the pitcher for this inning, and a base hit by Jerry Mander, the pinch hitter, into right center field. Will lead the Legends sixth off on the right foot. Beryl Summers, the batter now. A wild pitch will allow Mander to advance to second. Full count pitch is going to wind up being a base on balls. And now here's a first-time Majors All-Star in Speedy McFly Jr. pinch hitting. Another wild pitch allows both runners to advance. Very uncharacteristic for Mac John. And now an RBI double. 2 RBI. Sorry, it will be ruled as a single. But advancing to second on the play is McFly Jr. with 2 RBIs. For the first-time Majors All-Star, Arishikesh gets a base hit. McFly Jr. over to third. And now runners at the corners with still nobody out against Satchel Richard. It's going to be Seymour Baltz doing the pinch hitting. Another first-time All-Star. They'll draw a walk to load the bases. Mac John pulled for Takeda Takahashi. Zalewski, the pinch hitter. They'll strike out on the cutter. 1 out, bases loaded for Considerations. Grounder to second, on to home. In time, and thrown on to first. No, sorry, not thrown on to first. I was misreading the feed. It'll be a force out at the plate, fielder's choice, and now a pop fly out to the shortstop, who retire a bazooka slow. So 2 runs scored on the single by Speedy McFly Jr. It's 2-0 Legends Conference. Base hit over the center fielder's head. Leon Rosenthal slides into second base with a double. Will the champions answer back? It's Mickey Martino on the mound. They're another first-time All-Star in the majors. Fly out to Baltz. Will retire Waxilium Summers. Now here's Gnome Child. Base hit down the line right. It's going to be fair, but bounces foul after the base. So it's going to wind up being a RBI double for Gnome Child. It's now 2-1. Carlton Beatty, pinch hitting, will strike out against Martino. Bringing up Brent Goldberg, another first-time All-Star, and that's a base hit for Goldberg. That's going to bring home a run and tie the game, 2-2. Here's the score. And that brings up pass. Line drive, left field, caught before the track. So the champions draw even with the Legends Conference. It's now 2-2. As we head to the top of the seventh, D.W. Dog Maple grounds out to shortstop against Smidius, who's another first-time Majors All-Star. Jerry Mander will strike out, 2 away. I think we've seen... Oh, no, there's still, looks like maybe 4 pitchers that we haven't seen that are first-time All-Stars. Lansdale pinch hitting will get on board with a single. I think we've seen all the batters, though. Oh, we haven't seen De La Fuente yet. McFly Jr. grounds out to first base to end the inning. We haven't seen De La Fuente and Napoleon Solo for the batters, and then there's a bunch of pitchers we haven't seen yet. Joe Random takes to the mound for the Legends Conference and issues a leadoff single to Zach Johnson III here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Napoleon Solo, there's our last batter for the Champions Conference, who's a first-time Majors All-Star. Zach Johnson III steals second base, and here's Solo. Base hit up the middle. First and third now for Zen Bobrist. All of the first-time Majors All-Stars really making a showing here today. CJ Levine grounds out to the shortstop. On to second goes Solo, so now 2 runners in scoring position, only 1 out. And it will be Leon Rosenthal to try and bring them home. Grounder to short, over to first in time. 2 down. Summers, big chance for the Champions Conference. They could squander it here, though. If it's going to be 2 changes, actually. Randy Colon comes into pitch. Revin Shan comes into pinch hit. And Colon strikes out Shan to retire the side and strand 2 base runners. Skylar Stevens, another first-time Majors All-Star, going to be doing the pitching here in the top of the 8th. Hrishikesh strikes out. That brings up Seymour Baltz. Baltz with a fly out to right. 2 down. Do we see extra innings in the Majors All-Star game? Game still tied at 2. This late, start to think. AB, Zalewski will ground out to retire the side. Quick 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 8th, and we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Gnome Child up. He'll ground out to second. Beatty and Goldberg are due up. We'll see if we see them, or if they'll be pinch hit for. Carlton Beatty. Line drive, base hit in front of the left fielder. It's going to be a double for Beatty as they just kept on running. I thought that was going to be a single for sure, but Beatty with the speed gets to second base in time. Brent Goldberg pop flies out to third base. 2 down. And a runner at second for pass. It's Krabby Pebbles doing the pitching, another first-time All-Star. Pass will fly out to center field, though, to end the inning, and Pebbles gets out of the jam. We head to the top of the 9th. Cash's Considerations versus Kip Treadwell, another first-time Majors All-Star. Considerations is going to be the first out of the inning here. Angel De La Fuerte, there's our last hitter for the first-time All-Stars. They will strike out, though, in their only appearance, potentially only appearance, unless we go to extras and see them again later on. Dog Maple will be the third out of the inning. All-Stars go 1, 2, 3. And the champions have a chance to walk it off here with Johnson III, Solo, and Levine against a first-time All-Star and Big Rooster. Johnson III flies out to left, 1 down. Now here's Solo. Deep drive right field, Napoleon Solo in their first Majors All-Star game is going to be the hero. A walk-off home run off of Big Rooster to win the game 3-2 for the Champions Conference in the bottom of the 9th. What a way to finish that one off. Napoleon Solo, clearly the hero for this one. They go 2 for 2 on the day. The win will go to Treadwell. The loss goes to Rooster. And Napoleon Solo, of course, is going to be your player of the game with that walk-off home run. Absolutely excellent job there. I think we saw all of the first-time All-Stars. Rooster, Crash, Martino, Pebbles, Bear, Smidius, Stevens, Treadwell. I think we saw all of the first-time All-Stars, so that's always good to see. And one of them was the hero today, Napoleon Solo. So that will finish off both of our All-Star games. I'm going to go ahead and save real quick. I'm going to do something real quick here. That's not right. One moment. Someone lost 10,000 points? Oh, no. Oh, no. Who was it? Who was it? Shame them. Alright, league setting. No, it's a database. I don't know if I should do this for the All-Star games, but who knows. We'll do it anyway. I have no idea if this is working. I assume it is. It says it's sending it, but it didn't find the webhooks for several teams. Interesting. I thought there were only 2 webhooks that were not working. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and quick sim the next few days. It'll be the 7th before we have another game here. And there we go. Go ahead and take a look here at the scores coming up. We have Cancun versus Lunar Base for our first stream game today. Our first regular season stream game after the All-Stars. It'll be our first primetime game as well, which means if you filled out your primetime this week, your TPE depends on the outcome of this match. Toros are 31-23 on the road. They're 14-12. Lunar Base Space Rangers are 19-35 at home. They're 10-19, which means they're 9-16 on the road. Okay, so I guess all right. That's about comparable. Pedro Martini and Animal Kingdom, both with with identical win-loss records and very similar ERAs, will be on the mound for their respective squads here. Oh, it's Foxy. Foxy, you lost 10,000. Oh no. Oh no. Let this be a lesson about the dangers of gambling. All right, we haven't. Do we have another prediction? We do. Do we? Wait. Do we? It's not showing up on my end. Maybe it shows up on y'all's end. Oh yeah, Cancun versus Lunar Base. It's just a simple who wins. Chat only. There we go. Alright, so who wins between Cancun and Lunar Base? Well, I'm liking the odds for Cancun here, and it looks like OOTP is thinking the same way. Stars lineup seems wrong in the game recap you just got. Well, I think that's the All-Stars. Do you want me to check the lineup for Nashville just in case, Zach? Is this your lineup? Pull up the Nashville Stars in the index. Levine, Rainier, Gray. I mean, that looks pretty accurate. I assume you're just... Oh, yeah, you got it. Okay, so you did get the game recap for the All-Stars. Wait, what? Yeah, you should have gotten a game... Yeah, I sent the game recaps after the All-Stars. Did it, Hold on, let me pull up the... Let me pull up the one that I can see in the Scorpions here. Oh, interesting. So it showed... Oh, it just repeated the previous game. Okay. Weird. Okay, I guess it just isn't configured for the All-Star. Well, sorry about that. I just reset the box score to a bunch of team locker rooms. Whoopsie. Oh well, it's not that big of a deal. All right. Cancun versus Lunar Base. We are going to have BNN going in the background here. We'll get the scoreboard on the screen for you guys momentarily once we actually get into game. Yeah, instead of saying All-Stars, it reset the last game before the All-Star break. That's too bad. It doesn't work for the All-Star games. Anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and get on into game. I think I've given you guys enough time for the who wins prediction. And it's looking pretty positive for the Cancun Toros, I would imagine. Lunar Base has the advantage in the number 2 position with AJ Justice over Miles Meredith and Not Worth the First over AJay887 in the 9 position. But everywhere else, Toros seem to have the advantage here. Even Pedro Martini has a slight edge over Animal Kingdom, despite the fact that their win-loss record is identical and their ERA is very similar. We're going to go ahead and get on into game, though. Here in Lunar Base. I believe the All-Star game was also in Lunar Base, so yeah, it was. I'm not hearing any audio. Maybe I will once we get into game here. Let's get the BNN scoreboard up. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, okay, I am hearing audio. It's just a little bit quiet. Is it coming through on OBS? Wait, hold on. Is it OBS? Can you guys hear me? Can you all hear me? Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, weird. That was... Oh, I see what happened. Okay, never mind. Okay. We're back. Okay. All right, 2 quick outs here in Child and Meredith. Solo will get on board with a double, picking up right where they left off after the All-Star game. Can hear you, not the game sounds. I'll boost it up a little bit. That should be better. That might be too loud. All right, hopefully that should be good enough. Nothing on a hit for the Toros. And we head to the bottom of the first for the Lunar Base Space Rangers. Boy is going to strike out. Now AJ Justice and Durian Cragg due up. AJ Justice will ground out to the first baseman. 2 away. That brings up Durian Cragg, the third baseman. Base hit for Cragg into left field. 2-out single. Let's see if the Lunar Base Space Rangers do anything with that. Duke Nukesum due up. They have 26 RBIs, 11 home runs. They lead the team in home runs. They will fly out to right, though, to end the inning. And we head to the second with no score here on the moon. Brolina, the DH. Going to be striking out on the knuckle curve. 75 strikeouts on the season for Animal Kingdom. Foul out to the catcher. Vega tracks that one down as O'Malrain is going to be the second casualty of the inning. Carlton Beatty grounds that to the shortstop, but no throw. Infield hit for Carlton Beatty. And a base hit into left field. Griffin Stone with a single. Now it's first and second. And now AJay887 is going to be striking out on the knuckle curve to retire the side. Cancun gets a couple of hits, but no runs across the plate. Bottom of the second we go. Althouse will strike out. 1 down. Emilian Vega, the catcher. A base hit into left field. The second hit of the ball game for Lunar Base. Now it's going to be Clark Max, the left fielder. Second on the team in stolen bases. Max is going to be retired on the ground out. Vega advances to second, so a sacrifice for Clark Max. Now Enderman grounds out to third to end the inning. Space Rangers get nothing on a hit, and we're still tied at nothing. Home Child starts things off for the Toros with a 4-pitch walk against Animal Kingdom. Off for second they go. They're safe at second with their 46th stolen base of the season. Miles Meredith strikes out, bringing up Napoleon Solo. And another strikeout will bring up Victor Cortez, who grounds out to end the inning. So Child gets to second on a walk, a stolen base, and then strikeout, ground out. As nothing happens for the Toros. Not Worth the First strikes out on the changeup. Pedro Martini with their third strikeout of the day. Firefly Boy will ground out to third. 2 down. Not a whole lot happening in this ballgame so far. AJ Justice grounds out to the shortstop. As at maximum, we've had 2 runners on the base paths at one time. Now, pop fly to the shortstop retires Brolina. Bringing up O'Malrain with 1 out, no one on. Line drive. That's going to drop. I didn't think that would, but it does drop just in front of the right fielder. And O'Malrain wheels into second with a double. Their 17th of the season. Carlton Beatty strikes out, bringing up Griffin Stone. Walk drawn by Stone on the cutter. AJay887. 2 runners on, 2 outs. And through the gap on the right-hand side, that's going to bring home a run. RBI single for AJay887 is now 1-0 Cancun as we finally have our first run of the ball game. Now a walk drawn by Gnome Child. Cito to second. And a base hit into right field. Deja vu all over again. But this time, the second run that tries to come home is thrown out at the plate by the right fielder, Firefly Boy. A run still scores on the play, making it 2-0 for Cancun. But base running misstep. Toros might have been able to get a few more there, or at least one more. But instead, a runner thrown out at the plate. Cragg drew a walk, nuked some strikes out, and now Althouse is going to ground into the inning-ending double play. That was a close play, but we head to the top of the 5th, 2-0 Cancun right back at the plate. Deep drive left field, back to the track goes the left fielder out of here. Napoleon Solo, another home run. They had the game winner in the All-Star game, and now starting off week 3 on the right foot with a solo shot to make it 3-0. Cortez will ground out for the first out of the inning, bringing up Menji Brolina. Fly ball left field, 2 away. Napoleon Solo is having a stream right now. Someone, if Solo's user is not in chat, someone go ping them right now. They're having a good day. O'Malrain gets on board with a single. 3-0 here in the top of the 5th in favor of the Toros. Beatty will strike out to end the inning. And we head to the bottom of the 5th. We'll see if Lunar Base can answer back. 8 hits so far for the Toros and 3 runs. Lunar Base only has 3 hits through 4 innings. Vega strikes out. Brings up Clark Max. Clark Max going to ground out to first base. May the 4th was yesterday. I guess we can still celebrate it today, even though it's a day late since there was no stream yesterday. Enderman draws a walk. And off for second they go. No throw. 28th stolen base in the season for Enderman. Looked like they wanted to go for third there, but not worth the first has got to strike out. Score still remains at 3-0. We head to the top of the 6th. Griffin Stone, the second baseman, grounds out to the first base side. 1 away. AJay887 going to be striking out. Ian Rubbish, the new pitcher, came in at the start of this inning. He's gotten 2 quick outs, make it 3 with a ground out to second base. So 1-2-3 inning for Rubbish. Great work from the relief pitcher. Toros still lead it though, 3-0, and Lunar Base needs to start hitting. Firefly Boy, sharp ground out to the second baseman will be the first out of the inning. 1 down, here's AJ Justice. Ground ball second over to first in time, 2 away. Now here's Durian Cragg. Cragg gonna ground out to end the inning, and another 1-2-3 inning for the Space Rangers. We head to the top of the 7th. Ian Rubbish back on the mound to try and stymie the Toros again. Miles Meredith pops out to the third baseman, 1 down. Now Napoleon Solo. Line drive caught in left field by Clark Max. And Solo's retired. Cortez strikes out to end the inning, and we head to the bottom half of the 7th after the stretch. Martini back on the mound for starting for their 7th inning of work. Newsom flies out to center field. Martini at 94 pitches. After that, bat will run up to 98. We'll see them pitch against Link Althouse. A line drive out to shortstop brings up Emilion Vega with 2 outs and nobody on. Yeah, strikeout of Vega. And Martini has just settled into a groove here. 7 innings, only 3 hits. Top of the 8th we go. Menji Brolina gets on board with a single to center. I can't imagine that Pedro Martini goes for the complete game shutout when they're already in the 90s with 2 innings to go. Probably in the hundreds now after that last batter too. Another base hit. That one's going to be a single for AJ Justice. Or sorry, a single for Tiernan O'Malrain. Carlton Beatty gets a base hit as well. So now bases loaded for Ian Rubbish. Griffin Stone at the plate, and they're going to strike out. Another strikeout of Ejectocito. Is Ian Rubbish going to strike out the side after loading the bases? He will. Very impressive showing from Ian Rubbish. Surrenders 3 singles, but then strikes out the side to keep any runs from scoring. It's going to be Lizzie Woohoo on the mound as Pedro Martinez's day is done after 7 innings. A fantastic showing on the mound, though, for them. Clark Max on board with a walk. Enderman base hit to center field. First and second, nobody out. Woohoo already in trouble. And not worth a first comes to the plate. And a base hit into right field. Bases loaded, nobody out for the leadoff hitter, Firefly Boy, who leads the team in RBIs. If any, there was a rally time, this is it. Firefly Boy flies out to right field. The run will plate, though. And it's now 3-1 for AJ Justice. First and second, 1 out. A wild pitch. Is that wild pitch or pass ball, officially? It looked like a pass ball. It might have been. But a strikeout of AJ Justice means it's 2 outs, second and third for Durian Cragg. Deep drive left center field, over the wall. Durian Cragg, a 3-run homer. Lunar Base takes the lead. 4-3 Space Rangers as Cragg with an absolute moonshot. One swing of the bat puts the lead in the Space Rangers' favor, and Newsom is going to go back-to-back. Duke Newsom with a solo shot. It's now 5-3 Lunar Base. Space Rangers fans on their feet as the Lunar Base upset has come into focus here. 5-run bottom of the 8th, and they might not be done as Althouse with a single. Vega draws a walk. Bringing up Clark Max. Walk drawn. It's Rookford Cotswold on the mound, by the way. Woohoo was pulled after the 3-run homer by Cragg. But everything since then, including this 2 RBI single, has been all on Cotswold as Enderman, a 2-run single, makes it 7-3 Lunar Base. And now a new pitcher, their third of the inning, is going to be Kelly Brandt for the Toros. Finally stops the bleeding, gets a first to ground out to first base. Space Rangers bat around a 7-run bottom of the 8th, making it 7-3. Toros have a lot of makeup work to do here in the top of the 9th, and they'll start it off well with a double from Miles Meredith. Already a runner in scoring position. Napoleon Solo comes to the plate. Fly ball to center field, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. But it's looking dire for the Toros at this point because the tying run is in the hole, still in the dugout. A line drive to left field will be the second out of the inning. Ian Rubbish still pitching. Never mind. Scud Muffin comes in to try and close this one out. Menji Brolina. Fly ball left field. Over and grabbing it is the left fielder Clark Max to finish off the ball game. 7-3 in favor of Lunar Base. They were down 3-0 going into the bottom of the 8th. And then a 7-run 8th inning, including 2 home runs, going back-to-back. Durian Cragg and Duke Newsom, the big game changers right there. Enderman gets a 2 RBI single as well. Rubbish will get the win. The loss will go to Woohoo and the blown save as well. Pedro Martini, your player of the game, a fantastic showing on the mound. It's a pity that the bullpen could not keep it together for Pedro Martini, who pitched a gem today. for the Cancun Toros. But Lunar Base, their offense showing up in the bottom of the 8th. Better for it to show up late than not at all. And that is exactly what happened here today for the Space Rangers. Out of this world. Very true. All right, we're going to go ahead and send out the... Go ahead and send out the box scores here, and then we're going to continue to go through them. Starting off with the Voyagers defeating the Raptors 2-1, the final score. Only 3 hits apiece for these two teams. 2 RBIs for Brian Payne on the side of New York. For Boise, we had a hit and a walk each for Walk, Mirkatok, and Honcho. Smith with the loss. The win will go to Crookwell. And P-Dub Woods with their 11th save of the season. Harold Smith will be your player of the game. Solid outing on the mound for the Boise starter. Surge win it 3-2 in extras over the Sloths. We have a RBI on a single for Jackson Cheerios. And we have 2 hits from DW Dog Maple for Buffalo. For San Antonio, we have 2 RBIs from Ferguson. I didn't realize Buffalo was carrying 10 batters. I must not have been paying attention, really. Interesting. I mean, it worked out for them because someone was ejected for arguing a strike call. Bobble will get the win. The loss will go to Robo Dibble. And Juicy Jumbo will be your player of the game on the start for Buffalo. 2 earned runs over 5.2 innings pitched. Next up, the Providence Crabs 11-1 over the Pathfinders. Who won? Are you talking about the prediction? It was Lunar Base. Lunar Base won it with a 7-run bottom of the 8th. 11-1 for the Providence Crabs over the Toronto Pathfinders. 4 hit days for both Baltz and Quake. 2 RBIs for Summers, Quake, Pants, and back again. Pathfinders get their sole RBI from Mortimer Dog. Pebbles gets the win, improving to 10-3. 1 earned run over 7 innings pitched. 8 strikeouts for Pebbles. Kit Maker will take the loss, and Hurry Quake will be your player of the game for this one. Vandals 7-4 win over the Aviators, a comeback victory as they were down 4-2 going into the 8th inning. 2 hits and 1 RBI each for Eschebaugh and Morimura on the side of Outer Banks. For Vancouver, 3 hits for Stephen Strange, including 2 runs, bringing them closer to a milestone or tracking for them. 2 RBIs for Harishikesh. Greep will get the win. 3.1 innings, only allowing 1 walk. They improved to 3-0 on the season. Martino will take the loss in the blown save for Outer Banks, while Mathis Hendry will be your player of the game with a quality start, 3 earned runs over 7 innings pitched. Over to the Champions Conference, we just looked at the Space Raiders Toros game, so next up is the Demons beating the Rougarous 7-2, 13 hits to 4. We have 3 hits and 3 RBIs for Bobrist, 3 RBIs for Summers on the side of Detroit. For New Orleans, we have the both runs coming off of home runs. AJ Boucher and Sidney Johnson, both having a solo shot home run. 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th. The win will go to Blue Sky, who gave up both of those home runs, but not a whole lot else. Quite a few walks, though, for Blue Sky. They do reach, however, a milestone of 100 career wins. So congratulations to Aria Blue Sky for reaching that milestone accomplishment. For New Orleans, Eschleman will take the loss. Sorry, I was just checking one more thing. And that brings us now to the Nashville Stars being the Seattle Sea Serpents. 10-4 the final, 15 hits to 10. We have a 4-for-4 day with 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored for Bobby Briggs. Great day for them. 2 RBIs as well for Rainier and Lumber. For Seattle, we have 2 hits and 1 RBI each for Metz, Hawkins, Slam Squatch, and Jay. Moncrief will get the loss. Skumakun gets the win in relief for Nashville. And Bobby Briggs will be your player of the game for this one. And last but not least, we have the Death Valley Scorpions getting a win 7-3 over the Indianapolis Apex. 3 RBIs on 2 hits for Mello Mistor, 2 hits and 1 RBI each for Healer and Gnomes. And on the Indianapolis side of things, we have a 2-hit, 2 RBI performance for D. Fernandez Jr. Schramm will take the win and the blown save, while Noble will take the loss for Indianapolis. Mello Mistor will be your player of the game for this one. Lon Gnomes had a double, reaching a milestone of 350 doubles on the career. Congratulations to you. And that is it. Okay. All right. Now over to the minor leagues. Starting things off, we have the Dillos defeating the Hepcats 9-3, 14 hits to 10 on the total there. 2 RBIs for Croker on the side of Kansas City. For Amarillo, 3 hits and 3 RBIs for Del Vecchio, 3 hits for DeGoat, and 2 RBIs for Vilcova. Gritty will get the win, Needfelt the save, and Buster will take the loss for Kansas City. Wacko Warner, your player of the game, though. Where was Warner? Oh, 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored and an RBI, as well as 2 walks. Ronas with a win over the Flamingos. Ronas reaching 10 wins on the season, while the Flamingos take their 29th loss. Florida had 2 hits and an RBI from Wag and 2 hits from McScallywags, while Rock will take the loss on the day for Florida. Ribbit, your player of the game on the start for Puerto Rico. Wheelers defeat the Lemurs 3-1, 7 hits to 3. We have an RBI from Sheeping on the Lemurs side. And then for Anchorage, we have an RBI each for Barnum, Cash Jr., and Kennedy with 2 hits from Sluggerton. Reederman gets the win, Armstrong the save, De Nostradam the loss for Louisville, and Pickle Reederman will be your player of the game. Only 1 earned run over 7 innings pitched. Very impressive start on the mound for Reederman. Extra innings, 1-0. No score until the 12th inning. A 1-0 win for the Swift Steeds. It was an unearned run as a reach on an error by Taylor, the DH, Brian Taylor, who goes 3 for 5 with an RBI. Fuel gets 3 hits as well for California, 3 hits for Bennis. Season 31, Armbander will take the loss for California. Police will get the win for State College, and Froggy Dubois will be your player of the game. This one, 7.1 innings pitched, no earned runs. Heavy relief work for both Sills Crumblin and Armbander, who both pitch at least 3 innings of relief, with Armbander going 4.1 innings. Very impressive. Bruce City will get the win 9-4 over the Kingpins, 16 hits to 14. 4 hits for Jared Kiso and 3 RBIs for Newts on the side of Bruce City. For Chicago, 2 RBIs on 3 hits for East, and 2 hits and 1 RBI for Sejima. Kratky will get the loss on the start for Chicago. Zensky gets the win, and the save will go to Games, as Jared Kiso will be your player of the game. That finishes off July 7th. We'll advance the day. Save. And we will be quick simming these next 2 days, so we're just going to keep on going. We're going to autoplay, and then we're going to send out the box scores real quick here. One moment. Cool. All right, going through the box scores, we have New York Voyagers, a 6-2 win over the Boise Raptors. We have 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Von Kriestelhauser for New York. For Boise, 1 RBI each for Stewart and Weikertok, both on the solo shot home run. Mello Jr., the loss. The win goes to Moose Jr., and Pete Woods gets their 12th save of the season. 3 innings of shutout ball. Joey Moose Jr., your player of the game, only 2 earned runs over 6 innings pitched. Buffalo Surge, a 3-2 victory over the Sloths. We have 2 hits each from Slamson and Sahur on the side of Buffalo. For San Antonio, we have 2 hits each from Mander and Skoden and an RBI from Ferguson. Stover takes the loss. The win goes to Ice Bear in relief. Lieutenant Duds is your player of the game. 7 innings, 2 earned runs on 6 hits, and no walks on the start for Buffalo. Providence Crabs defeat the Pathfinders again, 4-3. A much more narrow victory this time. 3 hits and 1 RBI for Traveler, 2 hits, 1 RBI for Quake. On the side of Toronto, we have 3 RBIs and 2 hits for Skatos. Randy Colon will get the win and a blown save despite that. And the loss will go to Nansen for Toronto. Joe Random, your player of the game. 6 of the 7 runs in this game scored in the last 2 innings of the ball game. Next up, the Vandals, a 9-4 victory over the Aviators. Aviators get a 3-hit day from Eschenbauer with an RBI as well. Vancouver gets 2 hits, 2 RBI from Hirishikesh and Von Caliente. 2 hits, 5 RBI from Atlas Slugs, the DH, and Lansdale with a 3-for-3 day. Excellent production from the 6 and 7 hitters in the lineup. Strange adds on another run, meaning they are one step closer to their milestone that we're tracking. If they get 2 more runs this sim, they will reach 750 on the career. We will be tracking that. Andy Beans just hit a milestone. They needed 5 strikeouts coming into today's game, and they got 6 in this outing. 6.2 innings pitched. They get the win. They get their 2,000th strikeout of their career. So congratulations, Andy Beans. Abbasi will notch their 8th save of the season with 2.1 shutout innings. Kingman takes the loss for Outer Banks, and Atlas Slugs will be your player of the game with 5 ribbies. Over to the Champions Conference, Seattle Sea Serpents, a 10-2 victory over the Nashville Stars. Crazy day for the Seattle Sea Serpents. 4 hits and 2 RBIs for Mets, 4 RBIs on 3 hits for pass, and 3 hits for Locke on the side of Seattle. For Nashville, 2 hits and 1 RBI for CJ Levine, 3 hits, 1 RBI for Ethan Shadow. Pruitt gets the win, Boat the loss for Nashville. Player of the game going to be Buki Metz, who ties the Seattle regular season game record for doubles with 3 of them. Next up, Detroit takes down New Orleans 10-3 with 20 hits total on the ball game. And somehow, Revin Shan does not get a single one of them. 3 hits each for the 2 through 6 hitters in the lineup for Detroit, with 3 RBIs coming from Johnson III and 2 each from Bobrist and Nerd. What a day for the Detroit lineup. Very, very impressive. And Zach Johnson III will notch a milestone as well. 150 home runs on the career. They only needed 1 coming into today, and they get it here in this ballgame. New Orleans, a 2-for-3 day with 2 RBIs from AJ Boucher is the big notable in the lineup there. Manzer will take the loss. McGoatface gets the win for Detroit. Zach Johnson III, your player of the game as well. They had a fantastic day. Indianapolis Apex defeat the Death Valley Scorpions. 5-1 is the total. We had a 2 RBI day for Rosenthal and 2 hits, 1 RBI for both Monstar and Santos Garcia on the side of Indianapolis. 2 hits each on Death Valley for Healer and Eucliffe, with Healer adding the sole RBI as well. Whitman will take the loss. McFlourish gets the win. They were looking for 1,500 Ks on the career, and they reach it with their 4th of 6 strikeouts today. That was number 1,500 for Romeo McFlourish. Congratulations on reaching that milestone. They also are your player of the game for this one. Next up, Cancun Toros over the Space Rangers, 8-0, 12 hits to 5. 3 hits for Newsom on the side of Lunar Base, but that's about it. Cancun gained revenge in this ballgame, though. 5 RBIs for Menji Berlina on a 3-hit day. Victor Cortez with 2 RBIs as well. Smoltz gets the win. The loss will go to Hunter, and Menji Berlina will be your player of the game for this one. Oh, I forgot to check him. Did Montalban have any stolen bases? No. Okay. Trying to track all of the milestones here, and sometimes I forget things and have to go back. Brew City Bears, a win over the Kingpins, 9-3. We have the sole RBI for Chicago coming from Femhausen, the third baseman. For Brew City, 4 hits for Sankara, 4 RBIs for Torrey, and Balian goes 2 for 3 with 3 runs and 2 RBIs. Papelbottom gets the win. The loss will go to Bottom, and Fordham will get the save. Trevor Torrey will be your player of the game for this one. Lemurs get the win 16-5 over the Wheelers. Very impressive. A 3-hit, 6 RBI performance for Brochacho, including a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. We also have 3 hits and 2 RBIs for Cal COVID and 2 RBIs each for Johnson and All Air on the side of Louisville. For Anchorage, 3 hits each for Ice, Cash Jr., and Lenedy, with Lenedy adding 2 RBIs and Cash Jr. adding 3. Rosado with the loss. The win goes to Hill, who pitched 4.1 innings of relief. Definitely earning that win. Andrew Brochacho, your player of the game for this one. Flamingos get revenge on the Ronas, 9-3. Take that, bots. 3 RBI performance for Simpson and Spencer on the side of Florida with 2 hits from Phoenix. O'Callahan gets the win in relief for Florida. The loss goes to Yeoj. Homer Simpson, your player of the game. A 7-1 victory for the State College Swifties over the California Firehawks. Sole RBI from the Firehawks coming from Nicholas. Song had a 3-hit day in the leadoff position, though. State College, 3 RBIs and 2 hits for Rousseau, and the inverse, 3 hits, 2 RBIs for Killfigure. Person gets the win. The loss will go to Unit, and Tommy Killfigure will be your player of the game. Man Person. Is that Person Man's new player? I guess I should know that since if you look at my nameplate, I am Person Man. Dillo's a 7-2 victory over the Hepcats. 13 hits to 6. We have 2 RBIs from St. John on the side of the Hepcats. And on the side of the Dillos, we have 3 RBIs from Del Vecchio, who goes 2 for 5. 3 hits for DeGoat, and 3 hits, 2 RBIs from Warner. Nutting will take the loss for Kansas City. The win goes to Diak, and Wacko Warner is your player of the game. Oh, Man Person is Couch, right? Okay. No games for the majors on July 9th. We do have games for the minor leagues, though, so we'll go ahead and quick sim these. We'll save and then go export the box scores real quick before we go through them. One moment, please. All right, cool. And while that's running, we'll go ahead and take a look at the box scores. State College Swifties, a 4-0 win over the California Firehawks. 2 hits, 1 RBI for Backstop and Taylor on the side of State College. For California, not a whole lot going on. 1 hit apiece for 5 different players. No walks, so no one got on base more than once. Sears will get the loss. Kimura with the win. Complete game shutout for BB Kimura. Their 6th win of the season, only allowing 5 hits over the total of the game. They will be your player of the game. Of course, complete game shutouts, always a fun time to watch. Wheelers against the Lemurs, unless you're on the other side, I guess. Wheelers will win against the Lemurs 10-0, 12 hits to 3. We have 4 hits, 2 RBIs for Dean Ice, and 3 RBIs for Sluggerton on the side of Anchorage. Louisville gets 2 hits from Machado and a hit from All Air, but not much else. Pimley will get the loss. Sasaki will get the win. 8.2 shutout innings. Almost the complete game shutout. How many pitches do they have? 91? They had 91 pitches, 8.2 innings of shutout baseball, and they didn't let them go for the complete game shutout. That is tragic. But Smokey Sasaki is still your player of the game. Did they run into trouble in the 9th, I wonder? Maybe that's why. Yeah, they gave up 2 singles. But then they struck out the next guy. Let him go. Let him go. Let him keep going for it. Bruce City Bear, what was the score at that point? It was 10-0. Okay, if it was a close game, like I understand, you want to pull him for a fresh arm, but it was 10-0. Let him go. If they give up a run, then you can pull him for a 1-out reliever. Come on. 3-1 win for the Bears over the Kingpins. I'm annoyed for Sasaki. Who's Sasaki's user? I'm annoyed for you. 2 hits each for Ganja Smoke and East, 1 RBI for Femhausen for Chicago. For Bruce City, 2 hits for O'Shaughnessy and the sole RBI coming from minor leaguer. Carter gets the win. Time gets the loss, and Carter will be your player of the game. Aoife Carter. Dillos defeat the Hepcats 13-4, 17 hits to 9. 3 hits, 3 RBIs for Martin, and 2 RBIs each for Park and Warner. Oh, Ray gets 3 hits as well. Kansas City, 3 hits from Kamenek, and 2 hits from Oloa. Bird will get the loss. The win goes to Reacher. Del Vecchio, your player of the game. Flamingos beat the Ranas 3-0, taking the series 2 out of 3. 2 RBIs for Paulie Wag, 2 hits, and 1 RBI for Thunder. The win goes to Mentum. Loss goes to Gerard, and Momentum will be your player of the game. That finishes off the minor leagues for July 9th. We'll advance the day to July 10th, and our next streamed game, that being Indianapolis versus Nashville. We're going to save real quick before we get on into it here. Calm Chicken versus Mac John on the mound for their respective squads. Mac John 8-2 with a 3.56 ERA. Coming off kind of a rocky outing in the All-Star game, not recording an out against All-Stars. Calm Chicken 6-4 with a 3.01 ERA. I don't believe was selected to the All-Star game, or if they were, maybe we only saw them early on. Indianapolis 24-32 on the road. They're 12-16. Nashville 35-21 at home. They have 11 more wins than losses. There's your head-to-head matchups. Do we have a prediction going? No, we do not. One moment, I'm going to get a drink of water real quick. All right. Hydration is important, folks. Let's see if I go to the I'm just checking one thing here. All players. Sasaki. Oh, Steel Flex. Steel Flex got robbed of a complete game shutout by the managers. That is tragic. Sorry to hear that, Steel Flex. Oh, well. You don't think the last prediction got paid? It says prediction ended and... No, it says the winner got paid out. On my end, it's saying Lunar-based Space Ranger selected as the winner, and it says distributed. So I think it got paid. Maybe if we do get a prediction going, maybe it's something late in the game, like over-under runs scored in the 9th. Because we're going to keep on trucking. Primetime number 2, Indianapolis versus Nashville. We have Calm Chicken on the mound versus Mac John. Is it just me, or is that tie icon, like, bigger than the... No, it is. If you look at the tie icon, it, like, outstretches past, like, the middle border here. Why is that bigger? Why is that so big? That's weird. I can't be the only one noticing that, right? Is it usually like that? I don't think it's usually like that, is it? Maybe in our next game, if we have another tie, we'll be able to tell if that's actually like that. But I don't think that's usually like that. I don't think it's usually that big. Anyway, Indianapolis versus Nashville. Mac John on the mound will be facing Fernandez, Jr., Goldberg, and McKinley to start things off. We're going to go ahead and get on into game here in Nashville. No, we're not. Okay. That view is a little bit off. Is it construction kit? It is not construction kit. We are not watching the game like this. There we go. That's much better. Wide. And wide. Okay. Should be good. All right. Starting things off, Mac John on the mound. D. Fernandez Jr. at the plate. Second baseman leads the team in stolen bases with 45 of them. Also has 31 RBIs for a leadoff hitter. That's pretty good. Fernandez Jr. out at first. Thrown out on the ground out. Brent Goldberg is going to wheel into second with a double. That brings up Edward McKinley. And Edward McKinley going to draw a walk on the full count pitch. Good eye from the right fielder. First and second now for Rosenthal. Base hit into right field. That's going to bring home a run. First run of the ball game already here in the first inning. Leon Rosenthal with their 40th RBI. Credited with a single, but they advance to second on the throw, bringing up Yidif with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out, and a walk is issued. And Babbitt Person, the shortstop, comes to the plate. Bases loaded, 1 out. Walk drawn. Mac John wanted that one back. A 4-pitch walk with the bases loaded. Not great. Theodore Geisel will strike out on the splitter ball, bring up Monstar, the DH. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Monstar. And struck out. It sounded like contact was made, but they swung on it and missed. So, 2-run inning for the Apex to lead things off in this ballgame. CJ Levine will strike out on the circle change from Calm Chicken. The CC from CC, if you will. Slate Gray grounds out to second base, 2 away. Now Michael Munson, the catcher. Ground ball to shortstop, over to first in time. 3 up, 3 down. And the Apex go right back to work at the plate. Trying to get to Mac John for the second straight inning. A ground out to the third baseman will lead things off for Santos Garcia, bringing up D. Fernandez Jr. A walk drawn, third. Is that the third or fourth walk for Mac John issued? That is the 4th walk in 2 innings issued by Mac John. And stealing second base is D. Fernandez Jr. Brent Goldberg at the plate. Line drive down the line. Sharp grounder. Sorry, not a line drive. It's going to be a double for Brent Goldberg with a scorcher down the foul line into the left field corner. And a bunt issued by McKinley, thrown on to first in time for the out. But Goldberg advances to third, so 2 outs now, runner at third for Rosenthal. The hot hitting catcher pops this one up to the pitcher, retires the side. Apex get another run. It's now 3-0. Line drive to left field. Lincoln Mercury going to be the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the second as Geisel makes the catch. Bobby Briggs going to fly out to right. It looked like it was in foul territory. The feed doesn't say one way or another. I'm going to say that's a foul out for Briggs. Not that it matters one way or another. It's still the same result. Rainier grounds out to end the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Stars. Calm Chicken has not allowed a base runner through 2 innings. Quite the inverse for Mac John, who's issued 4 walks through 2. They do get a fly out here. They have retired the first batter in every inning they faced. It's just when there's already one out that things start to get a little bit sketchy. That person grounds out for the second out of the inning. Geisel lines out to right, and a first clean inning of the day for Mac John. 3 up, 3 down. Ethan Shadow, the DH, will lead things off for the Stars here, and they will not be able to beat out the throw there from shortstop. 1 down. Valor the third draws a walk. First runner allowed by Calm Chicken, rather. Off for second they go with a stolen bag, their 10th of the season. They are second on the team in stolen bases behind CJ Levine, who has 32. Jimmy Lumber with a base hit, the first hit of the day for the Nashville Stars. And now it's first and third with 1 out. Calm Chicken for the first time, maybe not so calm. CJ Levine draws a walk, and now the bases are unloaded. Slate Gray, a base hit up the middle. That's going to bring home 2. It's going to be an error on the throw from Santos Garcia to allow that second run to come home. Michael Munson pops out to shortstop. And that'll bring up Ford Lincoln Mercury. 2 runners on in scoring position, 2 outs. Stars trail by a run. And a wild pitch going to bring home a run. Tie ball game as Nashville scored 3. Here in the bottom of the third, I think only one of those was earned. Oh no, 2 of them were earned, according to the stat line here. It's 3-3. As we head to the top of the fourth, a quick ground out by Monstar will be the first out of the inning. Esteban Santos Garcia flies out to center field for out number 2. And now here's Fernandez Jr. A deep drive to right out of the park. Over the wall. Solo shot for D. Fernandez Jr., their 10th of the season. Indianapolis takes the lead right back. It is 4-3. Brent Goldberg fouls out to end the inning. Apex answer back. They only answer back with 1 run, but they do take the lead back. Calm Chicken back on the mound. Retires Bobby Briggs on the flyout. 1 down. Now here's J.B. Rainier. J.B. Rainier. The right fielder draws a walk on 4 straight pitches. 20th walk of the season for Rainier. Ethan Shadow, the DH, comes to the plate. Grounds into the 4-6-3 double play to clear off the base paths and end the inning. We head to the top of the 5th. Indianapolis leads by a run. It is 4-3 here in Nashville. Edward McKinley draws a leadoff walk. 4th walk issued by Mac John. Or sorry, no, it looks like they were hit by a pitch. Sorry about that. Rosenthal and Yidif, though, strike out back-to-back. Babbitt Person going to fly out to left. And a runner was on, but left stranded after the next 3 batters go down in order. Bottom of the 5th, Valor the third, the first casualty of the inning with a strikeout. 3rd K of the day for Calm Chicken. Jimmy Lumber, a base hit over the head of the 3rd baseman. And we have a 1-out single for the shortstop. CJ Levine will come to the plate. Line drive right to Babbitt Person. Didn't have to move much. That's 2 outs now. Slate Gray, the left fielder. Fly ball left field. It's going to be caught. Size retired, no runs on one hit. Runner left on base. Apex still up 4-3 as we head to the top of the 6th. Geisel strikes out. After Indy got that one run back on the solo shot by D. Fernandez Jr., it's been rather quiet on the offense for both sides after a very exciting first 3 innings. Santos Garcia, base hit up the middle, 2-out single for the center fielder. And now D. Fernandez Jr., who homered earlier on in the ball game, they're 1 for 2 on the day. Off for second goes Santos Garcia with their 44th stolen base of the season, putting themselves into scoring position. Grounder to first, stepping on first is Lincoln Mercury to end the inning. The runner gets stranded. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Michael Munson retired on the ground out. 1 down, no one on. Now here's Ford Lincoln Mercury. 2 away. Now Bobby Briggs. A base hit into center field. Little bloop single for the third baseman. And the Nashville Stars have a base runner here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. That's going to be a wild pitch. Briggs advances to second. Calm Chicken now around 104 pitches. Deep drive over the center fielder's head. Another run comes home. Tie ball game. J.B. Rainier with an RBI double. Makes this 4-4. Ethan Shadow strikes out to end the inning, but not before the Stars tie it up. We head to the top of the 7th. See if the Apex answer back like they did with the last time that Nashville scored a run. Brent Goldberg draws a walk. 5th walk issued by Mac John, and that will put the kibosh on their day as Shota Takahashi comes in to pitch and immediately surrenders a single to Edward McKinley. First and second, nobody out for Rosenthal. Pop fly, foul territory, caught by the catcher Munson. 1 away. Now here's Yiddiff. Line drive, base hit into the gap. That's going to bring home 1 run. It's going to bring home another. 2 RBI double for Yiddiff. 30 RBI on the season. And the Apex now lead at 6-4. Every time that Nashville has tied this ball game up, the Apex have answered back and taken the lead in the very next inning. Double play grounded into by Geisel to end the top of the 7th. It's time for the stretch here at Gibson Soundstage. Now in the bottom of the 7th, we have Valor the third, Lumber, and Levine due up for the Stars against Skylar Stevens, the relief pitcher for the Indianapolis Apex. And they're wearing an all-star hat. I don't know if that... I assume that's a glitch of some kind, but Skylar Stevens still very happy to be repping the all-star merchandise. Very funny. But a quick quick inning for the Apex defense. Walk issued, double play, and then ground out. Very quick. Bottom of the 7th. So we head to the top of the 8th to see if Indianapolis adds on any more insurance runs to their 6-4 lead. Monster the DH of the first out of the inning. Now Esteban Santos Garcia grounds out to first base. 2 down for the top of the order, D. Fernandez Jr. They hit their 10th home run of the season earlier on in the ball game. And they're going to ground out to the third baseman in this at-bat to retire the side. Bottom of the 8th we go. Gray Munson and Lincoln Mercury due up for the Stars. They're looking to tie this one up or take a lead for the first time tonight. Slate Gray walks on 4 straight pitches from Skylar Stevens. Michael Munson, the line drive, but it's going to be caught in center. 1 down, runner at first for Ford Lincoln Mercury. Pitch from Stevens. Struck him out. 2 down on the cutter. Bobby Briggs now. And that's going to be a line drive to the second baseman, Fernandez Jr., to end the inning. Top of the 9th we go. Last chance for Indianapolis to add on insurance runs before Nashville gets their last crack at it in the bottom of the 9th. Strike 3 against Goldberg. Takahashi with their first K of the day. Line drive to the shortstop. McKinley retired. Now it's going to be Leon Rosenthal. Leon Rosenthal draws a walk, bringing Yidif to the plate. Yidif, deep drive to center field, caught in center field for the third out of the inning. Who won the All-Star game? The Champions Conference won it on a walk-off home run by Napoleon Solo. Base hit into the left center gap. J.B. Rainier, the leadoff man, is aboard here in the bottom of the ninth, where the Stars need 2 runs to tie it and send it to extras, 3 runs to walk it off. Ethan Shadow, the DH. And that's another hit into the gap. That'll be back-to-back doubles for Rainier and Shadow. 6-5 ball game as the Stars inch closer. 1 more run to tie it, and the tying run is in scoring position. Ballard III strikes out looking. Here's Jimmy Lumber now. 1 out. Runner on second. Grounder to second base. Over to first in time for out number 2. Tying run is 90 feet from the plate. CJ Levine is the game-winning run. And a base hit into right. Game is tied. 6-6 here in the bottom of the ninth. CJ Levine with the game-tying RBI. Will Gray bring him around to score, or will we have extra innings? Levine steals second. 33 stolen bases on the season. Will they go for third as well? It's a 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Walk drawn by Slate Gray. Michael Munson, first to second. Slow roller, second baseman grabs onto first in time for out number 3, and we have free baseball here in week number 3 of season 61. 6-6, we head to extras. Top of the 10th, Dave Babbitt, the shortstop, will face Zachary Vega, the third, the new pitcher. Draws a walk. Geisel strikes out looking. 1 down, runner at first. Monstar, a base hit into right field. First and second. Now we have Esteban Santos Garcia drawing a walk as well. Bases loaded, 1 out for D. Fernandez Jr. A lot of damage can be done here. And a base hit into left field will do some damage. 2 runs come home. The third run comes home. Throw to third is off target. Santos Garcia safe. A bases clearing double for Fernandez Jr. They advance to third on the throw. Now a base hit from Goldberg scores another run. Indianapolis with a 4-run 10th inning. Going to make this very difficult on the Nashville Stars to try and come back to win this one. Edward McKinley draws a walk against J.Y. Park, the new pitcher. As the crowd goes silent here in the top of the 10th. Nashville Stars are not having a great performance here in the 10th inning for their home crowd. Indianapolis bats around and scores 4 runs. We head to the bottom of the 10th. Nashville Stars need 4 runs to tie it, 5 runs to walk it off. James Noble, the pitcher. Lincoln Mercury, the first out of the inning, striking out on the 0-2 SF. What pitch is that? SF. Bobby Briggs flies out to center field. SF. I'm lost. What the heck is SF? J.B. Rainier, last chance. Ground out to third will do it. 10-6, the final. Apex finish off Nashville. And that will end the ball game. 4-run top of the 10th. Nashville tried to make a comeback in the bottom of the 9th. They tied it up, sent it to extras, but Indianapolis just finishes them off in the 10th. And the story of this ball game was always, as soon as the Nashville Stars tied it up, and they did so 3 times, the Indianapolis Apex answered back to take the lead in the very next inning. Amazing clutch hitting for the Apex. 4 RBIs for Fernandez Jr., 2 RBIs each from Goldberg and Yidif. The win will go to Stevens, loss goes to Vega the third, and D. Fernandez Jr. is your player of the game. Real quick, Noble. What the heck is SF? It's not fastball, it's not changeup, it's not splitter, right? Is it splitter? I would think that would be SP, right? Anyway. Alright, we're going to save the game. We're going to export the box scores, and then we'll go through the box scores. Give me one moment here. Game settings. Database. Okay. Alright, while that's running. No, it wasn't sac fly. It was where the pitcher... It was where the pitch was shown. So, like, usually it would be FB if it was a fastball. Split finger. Yeah, okay, so it is splitter. I would have thought that that would have been SP. SP for splitter. Whatever. All right. You learn something new every day, I suppose. Vandals, a 3-0 victory over the Boise Raptors. We have 2 RBIs from McLovin Jr., 2 hits from Walker. Boise had 2 hits from Gauthier. Chuck Nasty with their 100th win, career milestone for Chuck Nasty. Congratulations. And it's their 5th win of the season with 8 shutout innings, 12 Ks. What a beauty for your 100th win of the career. Abassi, their 9th save of the season. PKVS takes the loss, and Chuck Nasty, your player of the game. Probably can't be because SP is starting pitcher already. Yeah, but you wouldn't put starting pitcher where the pitches are, though, right? Like FB is also... Oh, okay, well, that's a bad comparison. Buffalo Surge, 7-6. Providence Crabs try to make a run at it in the 9th with 5 runs. Unable to get the dub, though. Buffalo, 3 hits, 1 RBI from Sahur, 3 hits, 2 RBIs from Streamsong. For Providence, 2 RBIs each from Traveler and Mayfeld. Iceman takes the loss. Swishman gets the win. 1 earned run over 7 innings pitched. Hannah Streamsong, your player of the game. I forgot to check if did Strange get a run? Strange did get a run. Okay, so they're closer to their milestone. And did Reese get a double? Reese did get a double. So Pee Wee Reese gets their 350th double. 350 doubles on the career for Pee Wee Reese. Congratulations on reaching that milestone. So we only have 4 more milestones to track. 1 for Vancouver, 2 for DVS, and 1 for New Orleans. New York against the Aviators, 5-3 is the final. We have 3 RBIs from Curtis Jones, 3 hits from Rachel Morimura, and on the side of the New York Voyagers, 3 hits and 3 RBIs, and 3 runs for Can You Take Me Higher. Adkins gets the win. The loss will go to Holiday. Can You Take Me Higher as your player of the game, and ties the New York regular season game record for home runs. They had 3 home runs. That's what. Okay, so the 3 RBIs and 3 runs is the same thing because they had 3 solo shots. 1 in the 1st, 5th, and 7th. They must really like teeing off against Holiday. And Sun, I guess. Sun as well. Congratulations. Can You Take Me Higher? Fantastic performance at the plate. Toronto Pathfinders, a 3-0 victory over the Sloths. 8-2 on the hits column. 2 RBIs for Lucas Ryan, the shortstop. For San Antonio, 2 hits total. 1 for Scoden, 1 for Greer. That's it. Horrendous Haddock III gets the loss, even though they had a quality start. Very impressive start on the mound. But Benico, 6 innings of shutout baseball, gets the win. And Grizz will get the save. 3 innings in relief of shutout ball, giving up only 1 hit, 1 walk. Benico will be your player of the game. Split finger fastball is the same thing as a splitter, so they just take the SF. Looks like it was called a split finger fastball for a while before people shortened it to splitter. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that works. I just assumed it would probably be SP, but yeah, I guess that checks out. RCGG, thank you for subscribing with Prime. 16 months on a 1-month streak. Much appreciated. Detroit Demons take down the Lunar Base Space Rangers 3-0 as the final. 2 hits each for Vega Max and Enderman on the side of Lunar Base. For Detroit, no one with more than 1 hit, but an RBI from Summers, and a home run for Shizuka. 2-run home run in the 5th inning. And Summers' hit was also a home run. Pythagoras gets the win. Belt for the save. The loss goes to Yidif, and Pythagoras is your player of the game. 5.2 shutout innings. Death Valley defeats the Seattle Sea Serpents 2-0. Very low scoring game, 2-0, and very low in the hits department as well, 5-2. Seattle had 2 hits, 1 each from Hawkins and McGraw. Death Valley had 2 hits from Mistur, and then a hit and an RBI each from Angle and Stell. Divider Votto gets the win. Complete game shutout. There we go. 2 hits only allowed. 6 strikeouts. McQueen takes the loss for Seattle. Divider Votto, your player of the game. Congratulations. We watched the Apex Stars, so next up is the Rougarous defeating the Toros 4-3 the final. A walk-off run-scoring double in the bottom of the 9th by Harry Callahan, the game winner. 3 RBIs for Robinson, and then the game winner for Callahan for New Orleans. For Cancun, 2 hits, 2 RBI for Napoleon Solo, continuing their hot sim. And Stone will have a solo shot in the 6th inning as well. Takahashi will get the win in the blown save for New Orleans. The loss goes to Woohoo, and Cowgill will be your player of the game. I don't think there was a... Okay, no. Wait, hold on. What? Mellister had 5 stolen bases in that ballgame. I just realized. That's impressive. 5 stolen bases for Mellister. Okay. No games in the minor leagues, so we advance the day. And on to July 11th. The next 3 days are all quick sim days, so we're going to quick play these. Save the game. We'll export them, and then we'll go through the box scores. Okay, there we go. All right. First up, we have the Voyagers defeating the Aviators 9-2 the final, 13 hits to 4. 2 hits, 1 RBI for Bazooka Slow and for Outer Banks. For New York, 3 RBIs for Brian Payne, 2 RBIs each for Bebe and Teggy, and 3 hits for Mihire. Long pipe the win, King the loss, Brian Payne your player of the game. Next up, the Providence Crabs defeat the Buffalo Surge 10-5 with 7 runs scored total in the 9th inning, 4 in the top, 3 in the bottom. 3 RBIs for It's a Me Mio, and 2 hits, 1 RBI for Sahur on the side of Buffalo. For Providence, 3 hits, 1 RBI for Grail Traveler and JD Pants, and 2 RBIs each for Summers and Balls. Crabula gets the win, improving to 10-2. Colby Kaufman will take the loss for Buffalo, and Count Crabula will be your player of the game. 8 innings pitched, only 3 earned runs across the plate. Boise Raptors defeat the Vandals 7-2, 16 hits to 6. Great day for the Boise lineup. 4 hits for Wallach, 3 RBIs for Stewart, and 3 hits for Stavinsky's. For Vancouver, 2 hits for Von Caliente and an RBI each for Hrishikesh and McLovin Jr. Stephen Strange with the milestone 750 runs on the career. They reach it with their 1 run in this ballgame. Congratulations, Stephen Strange. Sheet will take the loss. Vaseline gets the win, their 3rd of the season. Nicky Vaseline, your player of the game, only 1 earned run over 7.2 innings pitched. Toronto Pathfinders, 2-1 victory over the Sloths, 9 hits to 3. The sole RBI from San Antonio coming from Les Scoden. For Toronto, they have 2 RBIs, 1 each from Matthews and Dog. Matthews going 2 for 3 on the day. Mac and Cheese gets the win, the save to Boone, the loss to Robo Dibble. And Mac and Cheese will be your player of the game, only 1 earned run over 7.1 innings pitched. Cancun defeats New Orleans 6-3 with 4 runs in the top of the 9th, coming back to win it. We have 3 RBIs from Harry Callahan on 2 hits for Cancun. We have 2 RBIs on 1 hit for both Napoleon Solo and Carlton Beatty. Ryan Lee with the win, woohoo with the save, and the loss will go to multi-pitch. Ryan Lee will be your player of the game for this one. Next up, Detroit defeats the Space Rangers 15-9. We have 4 RBIs each for Alpha Nerd and Danger Dollarson on the side of Detroit. 3 hits, 3 RBIs for Johnson III. Lunar Base, 4 hits, 2 RBIs for Durian Crag, 3 RBIs for Vega. LeBeau will get the win. The loss will go to Ryan Express, and Waxilium Summers will be your player of the game on that 4-for-5 day with 4 runs scored. All right. Next up, Indianapolis 9-7 versus the Nashville Stars. Stars out hit them 14-13, but as always, it's the runs that count. 3 hits, 2 RBIs for D. Fernandez Jr. Rosenthal, 3 hits, 3 RBIs on the side of the Apex. For Nashville, we have a 3-hit, 3 RBI day for Ford Lincoln Mercury, and Shadow will get 2 RBIs. Warren Peace takes the loss, Smidius gets the win, Mocker the save, and D. Fernandez Jr. will be your player of the game. Last but not least, the Death Valley Scorpions get a win 7-4 over the Seattle Sea Serpents, 13 hits to 7. We have a 3-hit day for Mellister, 2 RBIs for Montalban and Laser Show, the DH, 2-for-4 day with 3 ribbies. Seattle gets 2 RBIs from Pass and 2 hits from Gator McGraw. DeVries takes the loss. Guy Rousey will get the win. Lanky Schramm, their 7th save of the season with 3 shutout innings. Guy Rousey will be your player of the game for this one. Over to the minor leagues. We have the Bears, a 4-1 victory over the Wheelers. 3 hits, 3 RBIs for Sankara for Bruce City. For Anchorage, 2-hit days for both Chaco and Verity. Gedden will take the loss as Zikafus gets the win. 1 earned run over 8 innings pitched. Player of the game is Zikafus. Fantastic start for the Bruce City pitcher. Chicago Kingpins, a 9-5 victory against the Firehawks, where they scored 5 runs in the top of the 11th. That was what I was looking at when I said 5-1. 4 hits for Dumper, 2 RBIs for Nicholas on the side of California. For Chicago, 3 hits, 3 RBIs for Timothy, and 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Ganja Smoke. Timothy will be your player of the game. DeWorm gets the win. Armbander takes the loss. Next up, Lemurs defeat the Ranas 4-1. We have a RBI from... Sorry, it's 2 RBIs from All Air and 1 RBI each from Brochacho and Machado. And Sheeping goes 2 for 3. Johnson 3 for 5. One Tani gets the win, only 1 earned run over 7 innings pitched. They'll be your player of the game, and Harper will get the save. Flamingos 5-1 over the Dillos. We have 2 hits each for the Dillos for Delvecchio, Martin, and McTator. Florida, 2-hit, 3 RBI day performance for Simpson, and Batty goes 2 for 4. Kennedy Sanan will get the win, going 6.2 innings, only giving up 1 earned run. And Edgecombe will take the loss for the Dillos. Daithi Kennedy Sanan will be your player of the game. Last but not least for the Miners, 11-3 victory for the Hepcats over the Swift Steeds. 7 RBI day for Thomas St. John, who goes 4 for 5, including 2 home runs, a 3-run homer, and a grand slam. Absolutely incredible day. If they're not the player of the game, I would be very surprised. State College had 1 RBI each from Rose and Tafophilia. Esquire Limited will take the loss. The win goes to Lee, and of course your player of the game is that 7 RBI performance from Thomas St. John. All right, I gotta check one thing for a milestone. Okay. Montalban with a couple of stolen bases, only 1 away from 400 on the career. I knew I missed something. So that will finish off the 11th. We'll go to the 12th. And we will quick sim all games today. And save the game. And then export the box scores. All right, over to the scores. Starting things off, Voyagers win it 5-2 over the Aviators in 12 innings, 3 runs in the top of the 12th. 2 RBIs each for Mihire and Tegi, 4 hits for Brian Payne. For Outer Banks, 2 RBIs for Morimura. The win will go to Rooster, the loss goes to Martino, the save goes to Montreal, and Brian Payne gets the player of the game nod. Pathfinders defeat the Sloths here, 10-7. We have a 4 RBI day performance for Lucas Ryan and 2 RBI days each for Primo, Matthews, and Dog, with 3 hits for Von Pippington as well for Toronto. San Antonio, 3 hits, 2 RBIs for Laramie, 3 RBIs, 2 hits for Littleton, and then 2 hits each for Greer and Ferguson. Tatum takes the loss, Kitmaker the win, Boone the save, and Lucas Ryan your player of the game. Boise Raptors 9-8 over the Vancouver Vandals. The home team getting the win here with 3 RBIs from Stewart and 2 RBIs from Gauthier and Shu. For Vancouver, 2 RBIs each for Strange and Moncaliente, and 4 hits for McLovin Jr. Abassi takes the loss on the blown save. Johns gets the win. Romain Gauthier, your player of the game for this one. Next up, Providence Crabs, a 2-0 victory over the Buffalo Surge. We have 2 hits from Doug Maple on the side of Buffalo. For Providence, 2 RBIs from back again. Pebbles gets the win. Cologne the save. Jumbo the loss. 7 innings pitched of shutout baseball for Krabby Pebbles gets them your player of the game nod. They improved to 11-3 on the season. Possible pitcher of the year candidate? Question mark. Lunar Bay Space Raiders in extras will walk it off against the Detroit Demons 4-3. Space Raiders were leading this 3-0 all the way till the 9th, where Demons scored 3 to tie it up, sent it to extras, and the Space Raiders walked it off with a run-scoring single from Dorian Cragg. Cragg goes 3 for 5 with an RBI. Vega gets 3 RBIs on 1 swing of the bat in the 4th inning. Detroit, a 2-hit, 1 RBI day performance for Danger Dawson is the standout there. Belfort takes the loss. The win goes to George Braxton. And Animal Kingdom will be your player of the game for this one. 6.1 shutout innings on the start for Lunar Base. George Braxton also went 4 innings of shutout relief ball. Alrighty, next up. Seattle Sea Serpents defeat the Death Valley Scorpions 5-3 in extras. 2 runs in the top of the 10th, including a run-scoring single from Jim Hawkins for the game winner. Stella gets an RBI. Laser Show gets 2 RBI. Seattle gets 4 hits, 1 RBI from Hawkins, and 2 hits, 2 RBI from Slam Squatch. Win goes to Treadwell, loss goes to Hans. Pelikai gets the save. Taco Bell is your player of the game. Next up, Cancun, a 6-3 victory over the Rougarou. We have 2 RBIs from Jackson Love on 2 hits, and for Cancun, 3 RBIs from Miles Meredith in the number 2 spot. Cotswold gets the win. The loss goes to Eshelman III. Woohoo, the save, their 6th of the season. Pedro Martini, your player of the game, though, 2 earned runs over 5.1 innings pitched. Indianapolis Apex defeating the Nashville Stars 7-3. We have 4 RBIs for D. Fernandez Jr. on a 3-for-5 day. 2 RBIs for Yiddiff. On the side of Nashville, 3 hits for Lincoln Mercury and 2 hits, 1 RBI for Valor III. Ultimo Khan takes the loss. Flop Quads gets the win. D. Fernandez Jr., your player of the game for this one. That finishes off the majors. We'll head over to the minor leagues now. Starting things off with the Dillos defeating the Flamingos 5-4. We have 3 hit days each for Delvecchio, Martin, and McTator. 3 RBIs for Vilcova for the Dillos. For Florida, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for McScallywags, and 2 hits, 1 RBI for Thunder. Blue gets the loss. Batalima gets the win in the blown save. Gritty will be your player of the game. 2 earned runs over 7.1 innings pitched on the start for the Dillos. Swifties defeat the Hepcats 2-1. We have sole RBIs from Killfigure and Tafophilia for State College. For Kansas City, the only RBI coming from Panda. Buster takes the loss. The win goes to Dubois. Sills Crumbling gets their 6th save, and Froggy Dubois, your player of the game. 6.2 innings pitched, only 1 earned run for Dubois. Kingpins defeat the Firehawks 9-7, 16 hits apiece, 3 hits for Sung, and Whatsit, and Ashcroft on the side of California, with 2 RBIs from Fox and Majima. Chicago, 2 hits, 2 RBI for Monopolitsky, 3 hits, 3 RBI for East, and 3 hits for Timothy. Cracky will get the win. The loss goes to Ingrid Keelhaller, and Joe East will be your player of the game. Ranas defeat the Lemurs 8-4. Bright points for the Lemurs include 2 hits, 2 RBIs each for Squatch and Johnson, and 3 hit day for Narukami. De Nostradam takes the loss. The win goes to Ribbit, and Mean President is your player of the game. Last up, the Wheelers defeat the Bears 7-2, 11 hits to 6. Bears get their RBIs from Stitcherson and Torrey, both on solo shots in the 1st and 4th, respectively. For Anchorage, 2 RBIs on 2 hits for Ice, 3 RBIs for Lenity. Riederman gets the win on 2 earned runs given up over 6.1 innings pitched. Domra the save, their 5th of the season. Zensky the loss. Pickle Riederman, your player of the game. That finishes off July 12th. July 13th is also a quick sim. We'll go ahead and advance the day here. There's no games for the majors. There are games for the minors, though, so we'll quick sim these. We'll save the game. We'll export the box scores. Last game of the sim is going to be New Orleans versus Toronto. So if someone wants to go ahead and throw a prediction in there for that game. Was there something that I... Hold on. Did I miss something? Here, let's do this real quick. Oh my gosh. I missed the read for the stat team. My apologies to the man who sold the world. I was supposed to read a write-up that they very lovingly crafted for the Toros and Space Rangers game earlier on. I am sorry. I did not read that. Yeah, I should have. I just missed it. I had looked back and I saw Death Valley, which was the previous one, and I was looking for the Death Valley Scorpions game, and I didn't see it through the first 2 primetime games, so I assumed it was the 3rd primetime game, but then when I saw it was New Orleans, Toronto, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Was that supposed to... Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies to the man who sold the world. They wrote a fantastic write-up for one of the earlier games, and oh well. I'm sorry. We appreciate you writing it up, though. Sorry about that. Moving on to the minor league scores for July 13th. The Firehawks defeat the Kingpins 6-4. We have 3 hits, 2 RBIs for Song, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Nicholas, and Chicago, 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Mexicano. Kasuga gets the win. The loss goes to DeWorm, and Massive Unit, your player of the game, 3 earned runs over 6.2 innings pitched. Swifties 2-1 over the Kansas City Hepcats. The RBIs coming from Whacker and Tafophilia for State College. For Kansas City, the sole one comes from Gandalf the Grey, the center fielder. Nutting will take the loss. The win goes to Person, and Sills Crumblin gets their 7th save. Man Person, your player of the game, only 1 earned run over 6.2 innings pitched. Louisville Lemurs defeat the Ross 3-2. Highlights for the Lemurs include 2 hits each for Sock and Squatch with an RBI from Squatch. Snaps gets the win. The loss goes to Mitt. Owen Gambit ahead is your player of the game. 2 earned runs over 8 innings pitched on the start. 9-7 the final in favor of the Florida Flamingos. They pull even to 500 baseball. 6 RBI day for McScooty Fortune with 2 home runs, both 3-run homers off of Zodiac, one in the 3rd, one in the 7th. Phoenix, 2 hits, 2 RBIs at second base. For the Dillos, 3 hits, 1 RBI for Martin, and 5 for 5 day for Vilkova with 4 RBIs, including a solo shot in the 2nd inning. Diak takes the loss. Larquad gets the win. O'Callahan the save, and Vilkova will be your player of the game for this one. Last but not least, we have the Bears defeating the Wheelers 3-2, 13 hits to 9. 3 hits, 1 RBI for Kiso, 3 hits for minor leaguer, and on the side of Anchorage, we have 2 hits, 2 RBIs for Jordan with 2 runs scored. Rosado takes the loss, the win goes to Games, and Rex Jordan, your player of the game for this one. All right, we'll go ahead and advance the day and save the game before we get into our final streamed game of the day today. New Orleans versus Toronto. Do we have any minor league games this day? No, we do not. Okay, so New Orleans versus Toronto. New Orleans 28-31 on the season on the road. They're 11-18. Toronto 16-43. They're struggling this season, and they're 10-16 at home, meaning that they are 27 on the road. So good news for Toronto Pathfinders. You're not on the road this game. Griff Manzer takes to the mound for New Orleans. Stetson Mixon for the Toronto Pathfinders. No milestones to track. We have 2 for DVS that we're keeping an eye on, one of which I don't think we're going to get, and 1 for New Orleans, which we might have actually gotten and I just missed it. Possibly. Not sure. We don't have a prediction. Prediction ended from Cancun Lunar Base, so I'm just going to assume that we're not going to do another prediction tonight. That's fine. Looks like mostly... Yeah, the tide does stretch over the edges of the... Okay, so it isn't just that one instance. It is pretty consistent. Anyway, Griff Manzer 5-3 on the season with a 5.49 ERA. Stetson Mixon 2-7 with a 4.52 ERA. So potential for a lot of offense between these two teams, as neither pitcher seems to be off to a great start, or potential for a bounce back against 2 teams with losing records for both these pitchers. So let's see which team comes out on top, New Orleans or Toronto. We're going to go ahead and get on into it here. Starting things off with Lefebvre, Johnson, and Boucher due up first against Stetson Mixon, the pitcher for Toronto. Yeah, let's adjust that view real quick. I'm going to get a drink of water real quick, too, while I'm doing that. Okay, we are underway. Lefebvre, Johnson, and Boucher due up against Stetson Mixon. And that's going to be a bad throw. Lefebvre safe at first on an error against Matthews. All right. Stolen base for Lefebvre, their 50th of the season. Johnson. A balk is called. Not often you see the balk, but they get one here. Lefebvre advances to third and then comes home to score on a sacrifice fly by Sidney Johnson. Good job for Lefebvre, and a little bit lucky with the balk as well, getting all the way to third there. And now a double from AJ Boucher. We have a 1-out base runner in scoring position for Harry Callahan, the DH. Line drive right to Ryan at shortstop. Makes a great grab. Jackson Love, the left fielder, is going to ground out. Oh, wait, I was mistaken. We do have a milestone to track. Jackson Love, we're looking for 300 stolen bases on the career. They only need 1 more. They didn't get it that inning. Maybe we'll see it on stream. Assuming that I didn't already miss it, because stolen bases are... I sometimes miss those ones because they're separate from the rest of the box score. Palindrome with a double to right field. Satchel Richards gets a base hit, bringing home a run. Tie ball game. RBI single for Satchel Richards. It is now 1-1. And a drive to left field by Von Pippington will be caught by Jackson Love in left field. 1 out, runner on first for Mosquitoes. Strike 3 called on the cutter. Now here's Squires. Ground ball is second over to first in time to end the home half of the first inning. 1-1 tie game. The pitcher must be a chicken because he balks. No, we had calm chicken on the mound in the previous game. Stetson Mixon on the mound. Nice grab at second base by Matthews there as McCheesy is retired after Yordon gets to first. Robinson going to strike out. Malcolm Kell, a base hit to center field. Yordon all the way to third. And Kell with a single. First and third, here's Lefebvre. Base hit. Run comes home. It's now first and second with 2 outs, and the Rougarou take the lead once again. Another 1-run lead for the New Orleans Rougarou. Strike 3 to Sidney Johnson. That finishes off the top half of the second. 1 run scored in each half inning so far. How long will the pattern continue? It'd be funny if it got all the way to the 9th inning and we're still 1 run in each frame. Sebastian Primo gets on board. Lucas Ryan pop flies into foul territory for out number 1. Now here's Bo Matthews. Walk drawn by Matthews. Primo to second. With only 1 out, here's Mortimer Dog. Bunt laid down, and it was lined to the pitcher who threw on to second to get the leaning Primo. What a play! 1-6 double play on the line-out bunt. That is not a play that you see too often. Already 2 outs in this inning here as Boucher and Callahan, the first 2 casualties in the top of the third. Jackson Love, the left fielder, will ground out to the second baseman to end the inning. But wow, what a play that was. Not often do you see that. A bunt line drive right to the pitcher, thrown on to second for the double play. Very impressive heads-up baseball from Griff Manzer there. Palindrome flies out to center field, 1 down. Satchelo Richards grounds out to second, but no throw as O. Richards with an infield single, their second hit of the ball game. Bottom of the third, 1 out. Von Pippington flies out to right, 2 down. And that will bring up Mosquitoes. Mosquitoes sharp grounder to third, on to second for the fielder's choice. Size retired. Pathfinders get a hit, nothing else. Score remains 2-1 New Orleans. Yordong strikes out. That brings up McCheesy against Stetson Mixon. A base hit for Mixon. And runners aboard. Ozzie Robinson, the right fielder. Check swing strikeout on the circle change. And now a fly out to center field will end the inning. We head to the bottom of the fourth, still 2-1 New Orleans. How often do you even hear bunt line out? Yeah, not often. What happened there? That was a double for Squires, but Love just held on to it and allowed him to take second base. All right, sure. Primo gets a single. First and third now, no one out for Lucas Ryan. Love just didn't throw the ball in, and that should have probably been a single. But it wound up being a double anyway. Matthews strikes out. Yeah, bunt lineout, not a very common occurrence. Bunt lineout double play, even rarer. That's going to be an error. Throwing error against Boucher. 1 run comes home. Dog safely to second base. Primo to third. Palindrome pop flies out to end the inning. Tie ball game, it's 2-2. Costly throwing error by AJ Boucher. And they'll have the chance to make up for it here in the 5th as Lefebvre gets on board with a single. On to second. Stolen base for Lefebvre, their 51st of the season. Sidney Johnson strikes out. Here's AJ Boucher. Strikes out for the second out of the inning. Harry Callahan, that one's going to be a passed ball, allowing Lefebvre to take third. But Harry Callahan strikes out anyway, so no damage done off of the hit from Lefebvre. 2-2, the score as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Okay. Ground out by Richards to the first baseman. Von Pippington strikes out. 2 away. Here's Mosquedos. 2 outs, nobody on. Mosquedos strikes out. And that will end the inning. Pathfinders 3 up, 3 down. And we head to the top of the 6th. Jackson Love first up. Base hit up the middle. Jackson Love on board with a single. Will they steal second for their 300th stolen base of the career? It's going to be Yerdong. There they go! 300 on the career for Jackson Love. Congratulations on the milestone. Pass ball will allow Love to advance to third. Yerdong strikes out. 1 away runner at third for McCheesy, and another strikeout issued by Stetson Mixon, who's now up to 9 Ks on the day. But that will be their final K as Fire Aaron Boone comes in to pitch and immediately surrenders the lead 3-2. RBI single for Ozzie Robinson. New Orleans takes the lead. Malcolm Kell, deep drive left field, over the wall. 2-run home run for Malcolm Kell. And the Rougarous add on. 5-2 is the score. 3-run top of the 6th for New Orleans. RBI single for Robinson, and then Malcolm Kell with a 2-run blast. 3 runs on 3 hits for New Orleans. They lead 5-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Will the Pathfinders answer back? This is Cameron Squires, the DH, flies out to right, 1 down. Sebastian Primo, the center fielder, in their rookie season, base hit. 2 for 2 on the day. That average is going to go up a little bit to 2. I'm going to say 88. 289 for Primo. Lucas Ryan strikes out in the 0-2 pitch. Off for second is Matthews on contact. Off for second is Primo on contact. Bo Matthews is going to fly out, though. We head to the top of the 7th. Boone back on the mound. Sidney Johnson flies out to right, 1 away. Here's AJ Boucher. Grounder to short, over to first in time for the second out. Now here's Harry Callahan. The pitch from Boone. Walk drawn on 4 straight pitches. 21 walks on the season for Callahan. Jordan Love strikes out, though, to end the inning, and we head to the bottom of the 7th. Jackson Love having a pretty cold month. They're only hitting 143 in the month of July. Deep drive to left field. Mortimer Dog is going to go yard. The number 9 hitter coming up with their 5th home run of the season. And inching a little bit closer for Toronto, 5-3. Welcome to the ball game, E.A. Nasir. If that's your first batter, that's maybe not a good sign for the rest of the outing. Or you bounce back right here, and with a fly-out strikeout, it's certainly looking that way. Drome and Richards, casualties of the inning here. Von Pippington, 2 outs, nobody on. Grounder to third, over to first in time for out number 3. We head to the top of the 8th. Toronto puts up 1 run in the bottom of the 7th to make it a closer ball game. 2 runs. 2-run lead for New Orleans. Top of the 8th we go. Strikeout, followed by another strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Aaron Boone. Ozzie Robinson now to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. Grounder to shortstop, over to first in time for out number 3, and that will bring us to the bottom of the 8th. Pathfinders are sending Skatos, Squires, and Primo to the plate to try and make a comeback here, but Skatos flies out to right, 1 down. Cameron Squires, the DH. Fly ball, line drive into center field, into the gap. 1 hops off the wall, and Cameron Squires into second with a double. Runner in scoring position with 1 out for Sebastian Primo. Walk drawn. Here's Lucas Ryan. And that's a base hit into left. Run will come home to score. RBI single, Lucas Ryan. It's 5-4, 1-run ball game. Yeah, I think EA and Nasir might get pulled here, and they do. Takeda Takahashi, repping the All-Star baseball cap. Strikes out Bo Matthews for the second out of the inning. Here's Mortimer Dog. Homered earlier in the ball game, and now they're going to drive home another run. RBI single for Mortimer Dog. It is now 5-2 in favor of Toronto. Sorry, 5-5 tie ball game. Now it's 6-5 in favor of Toronto. Palindrome watches a wild pitch goes by. Mortimer Dog takes second base. Strike 3 dropped, but Palindrome is thrown out at first base narrowly. Pathfinders get 3 runs to take the lead 6-5, and now New Orleans is on the back foot, facing Nansen, the closer, Malcolm Kell. And a fly out to center field. Nansen 0-7 on the season with an 8.69 ERA. They're looking for a bounce back opportunity here. Thibault Lefebvre flies out to right. 2 down, bases empty. Sidney Johnson comes to the plate. The last hopes for New Orleans. Johnson has to reach safely here. Grounder to second, over to first, in time, ball game. 6-5 in favor of Toronto. What a comeback. Four runs in the last 3 innings to come back from a 5-2 deficit. Toronto Pathfinders with the win. And a lot of that thanks to Mortimer Dog with 2 RBIs. The win goes to Boone, the save goes to Nansen, the loss goes to Nasir, and Takahashi gets a blown save. Stetson Mixon, your player of the game, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, over 5.2 innings pitched. We're going to save, export the box scores, and then go through the rest of these. Give me one moment here. All right. Back to the scores. Demons defeat the Sloths 6-4. We have a 2 RBI day for Danger Dollarson, 3 hits for Waxilium Summers. For San Antonio, 3 hits, 1 RBI for Scoden, and 2 hits for Whittle. McGoatface gets the win. Bell for the save. Stover the loss. McGoatface, your player of the game. 8 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. Raptors defeat the Sea Serpents 5-2. We have a 3-hit, 1 RBI day for Wallach and 3 RBIs for Gauthier. For Seattle, 2 hits, 1 RBI each for Hawkins and Slam Squatch. The loss goes to Richards, win goes to Izzo, and Mulligan gets the save, their 9th of the season. Romain Gauthier, your player of the game. We just watched the Toronto-New Orleans game, so next up is the Vandals Scorpions with a 3-2 win for the Vandals. 3 hits, 2 RBIs for Hrishikesh, 3 hits, 1 RBI for Stephen Strange. For Death Valley, 2 hits each for Mistura, Law Gnomes, and 3 hits for Laser Show with 2 RBIs. Schramm takes the loss, Kidd gets the win, and Andy Beans will be your player of the game for this one. Next up, we have the Providence Crabs defeating the Toros 1-0, 6 hits to 3. 2 hits, 1 RBI for Zalewski on side of Providence. For Cancun, not a whole lot. A hit each for O'Malrain, Beatty, and Cito, but that's it. Smoltz gets the loss. Joe Random, complete game shutout for the Providence Crabs, only allowing 3 hits and 1 walk over the entirety of the game. Excellent outing for Random, who increases to 9-1 on the season. They will be your player of the game for this one. Buffalo Surge, a 6-5 victory over the Space Rangers in a comeback fashion. All 6 runs scored in the last 3 innings. They come back from a 4-0 deficit in the 6th. Surge get 3 RBIs from Sahur and Reese and 2 hits from Whoop Whoop and Chikason. Lunar Base, 3 hits, 3 RBIs from Duke Newsom and 2 hits each from Maxim Justice. Rubbish will take the loss on a blown save. Baba gets the win, and Sahur will be your player of the game for this one. Nashville Stars defeat the Voyagers 7-5 with 4 runs in the 8th and 9th total. 2 RBIs for Magic, 2 hits, 1 RBI for Moore on the side of New York. For Nashville, 3 RBIs for Lincoln Mercury, and 2 hits, 1 RBI each for Levine and Gray. Loss goes to P. W. Woods and a blown save. Win goes to Takahashi, Joey Moose Jr., your player of the game. 3 runs, 2 of them earned, over 7 innings pitched on the start. And last but not least for today, we have a 7-5 victory for the Indianapolis Apex over the Outer Banks Aviators. A 3-hit, 2 RBI day performance for Rachel Morimura and 2 hits, 1 RBI for Bazooka Slow. For Indianapolis, 3 hits each for McKinley and Geisel, and 3 RBIs each for Rosenthal and Monstar. A great day at the plate for those players. McFlourish gets the win, Mocker the hold, Noble the save, Kingman the loss for Outer Banks, Monstar your player of the game, and that is going to do it for today's stream, as there are no minor league games. So we will go ahead and save and begin the export for today's sim. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Someone asked earlier, I don't know if they're still around. Yeah, it's fine. Foxy G, are you still around? You asked a question earlier of, for those that have done both hitter and pitcher, which do you like better? And I didn't see any answers from it. Thanks, person. Good sim. Cake. I'm not actually person, man. Just you do know that, right? It's important to me that you know that. Anyway, Foxy G asked for those who have had a hitter and pitcher, which do you like better? And I didn't see any answers, so I wanted to offer my personal opinion. But if anyone else also has questions for the booth, please throw them in chat so I can talk about them, because otherwise this is going to be a pretty boring upload. As someone who has played both as a hitter and a pitcher, this is actually my first hitter with Sting Eucliffe, and it's been, honestly, with Sting Eucliffe, it's kind of a meh, kind of a boring career for a large part of it. But like in the recent past couple of seasons, it's been much more exciting because I didn't realize that Sting Eucliffe was so far up on the career hits leaderboard, to the point where he's now top 10 overall, which is absolutely insane to me. And so that has become very fun for me to track and for me to watch him rise up the leaderboard. Because he was like around like 24, 23 to start the season, and now he's top 10. And a lot of those players are really bunched together, so it's very likely that Sting Eucliffe will be number 4 overall in career hits by the end of the season. So that has been really fun for me, but the rest of it's been kind of meh. We had a very exciting run in Cancun as well as with the World Series run that we had. So that was pretty exciting. But I mean, Eucliffe has just been kind of a mid player. He just has a lot of hits, which is great, but nothing super spectacular otherwise. Whereas with my pitchers, I had one that was just kind of like getting into the PBE Sim League type adjustment pitcher where it didn't really go too well. And then I had a pitcher that was fantastic who had 2 back-to-back pitcher of the year seasons, and wound up in the Hall of Fame with probably one of the lowest ERAs for a starting pitcher. I want to say it was like second or third lowest ERA in a season. Let me actually look that up. I'm curious. Where did Wendy Marvell rank? Leaderboard, single season ERA. These are okay. Well, most of these are relief pitchers. So Wendy Marvell was 10th as a starter. They had the 10th best ERA in a single season as a starter. And I think most of the other ones above her were relief pitchers. I think there were a few starting pitchers. I know Tristan Lung, I think, was a relief pitcher. Ed Barker and Victoria's Secret were both starting pitchers. I don't know. I'll have to go back and check each of these to see which one of them were starters. I think it was like 2 or 3. Ed Barker and Secret might have been ahead of her. But overall, which do I prefer? I don't know. I think it's probably pitcher for me, actually. Yeah, I think I would go pitcher at this point. Because I think when you're in the lineup every day, it kind of all just becomes noise a bit. For me, anyway. Where it's just like, okay, yep, you're in the lineup, and you're doing things, and that's just every day for it. Whereas with pitcher, it feels like your appearances are more impactful. Because as a hitter, if you have 3 off days in a row where you're just 0 for, and then you break out and you have like a really good day where you go like 3 for 4, it's like, yeah, you had a 3 for 4 day, but the previous 3 days were just kind of meh. And it all kind of averages out. Whereas a pitcher, you're only there once every 4 days for a starter, and more or less depending on your usage as a reliever. So it's like it's more exciting to see your players show up in the box score. Like, yeah, my player was there. They contributed. They did something. And I feel like that's more exciting to me than just, like, always being there and always contributing. Because, like, on days where you just have one hit, it's like, yeah, you're contributing, but it's like, it's a lot of numbers to throw at you each sim. Whereas with a pitcher, it's like, okay, you had a great outing, and then a not so great outing, but like, those were your appearances. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just too much of a good thing as a batter. I don't know. Dukeston, you've had 2 hitters. I enjoy it very much. Enjoying playing the speed arch. Have you had a pitcher yet, Dukeston, or has it just been batters? But anyway, that's my that was my opinion on the hitter pitcher dynamic that was asked by Foxy G. Thank you very much, Cake and Lone Star, for the sim compliments. Much appreciated. No pitchers yet. So you're saying it's an option. I like pitching so far. I've had 1 pitcher, love it. I've been afraid of rolling a pitcher. What's to be afraid of? You know? Go out and do it. Alright, well, while we're waiting on the upload, let me check these pitchers, see if they were starters or relievers during their season, because now I'm curious. Alright, so we had James Ronlin. James Ronlin in 2050 was a reliever. We had Jackson DeMarco, who I think was a reliever their entire career. Yep. We had Cletus McFlorida Man, reliever their entire year, or their entire career. Dusty Collins in 2037 was a reliever. Matthew Paul was a reliever their entire career, so both of those seasons are out. Ed Barker, 2034, was a starter. Victoria's Secret was a starter their entire career, and Tristan Long was a reliever their entire year. So Wendy Marvell, my second player, had the 3rd best single season ERA, had the third lowest ERA in a single season among starting pitchers. So that was pretty cool. That was a 1.96 ERA as a starting pitcher was absolutely crazy. Absolutely insane. Oh, afraid of making... Okay. Break the all-time lose record soon. Lost record. Almost halfway there. Yikes. Nothing to be afraid of. Dookie can't be worse than Lone Star. Afraid of making a bad one could be like Nikki Vaseline and break the lost record. Oof. I pay a lot of attention to Sims, so I would be a bit bored if I only played once in a Sim. We'd be playing at least twice. Well, I guess as a starter, you could be... Yeah, if you're a starting pitcher, you could be playing once per Sim. See the appeal of having 1 or 2 games and not just a couple of bats sprinkled about. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the outings as a pitcher, I feel like outings as a pitcher is just, it feels more impactful. I don't know if that's probably not the case for everybody, but at least it feels that way to me. Marvel is one of the Vandals Mount Rushmore star pitchers. I would hope so, but I mean, if you're looking at pitchers for Vandals, that's stiff competition, man. You got Victoria's Secret, you got Greg Steiner, you got Brent Lemieux. Philip Thompson was incredible as a rookie. Lizzie Mitchell was great. Blue Line had some fantastic seasons, a 20-win season and a 19-win season. Andy Beans is second place in wins over their career. That's crazy. Colby Kidd, dude. If you're talking about like elite relief pitchers, like Colby Kidd is one of the best. Justin Ripspod was great. Austin Bentley before I traded him was great. Hummus is never going to let me live that one down. Doing the second part of the upload now. But I appreciate the compliment, though. Like that. Yeah, Victoria's Secret and Greg Steiner are up there, yeah. Worst thing about being a starting pitcher is you sometimes might go a whole season and not actually see yourself live. Sometimes that's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah, Lone Star's with me. Like, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes you might not want to see... Like, I would rather not see my pitcher pitch live the entire season than see them have an absolutely blow-up start. You know? Tatum's still the active leader in strikeouts. For just the Vandals or for overall? Strikeouts career is Andy Beans for the Vandals. Oh, active leader. Well, no, Andy Beans is still active, though. Tatum. Active strikeouts in the league. I know you're Andy Beans. But I don't know what stat you're talking about. Career Ks. Oh, okay. I was looking at specifically the Vandals. Leaderboards. Career strikeouts. Yeah, Johnny Tatum is currently at number 23 and leads active players in strikeouts over the career. And they're at 2162 now, at number 23 on the leaderboard, so that could definitely rise up. Index is updated, though, so we are all set. So let me go ahead and make sure that everyone knows that the index is updated, and then we'll be good to go. Oh, I forgot to talk about... Okay, hold on. Let me post this real quick. Index updated. Publish. Confirm. Okay. Coming up, we have week 3, day 2 tomorrow at 1 p.m. with Hakem. Thursday at 6 p.m. is SD Core and Pifferfish. Is SD Core making their streamer debut that night? I think they are. I think they might be. That's on Thursday. And then Valor will be taking you through Saturday at 7 p.m. with Lone Star on the call. That's May 9th. I'll be seeing you guys next, not in the playoff semifinals this year, shockingly enough. I actually have work to do on that night, so unfortunately I can't do the playoff semifinals. But I will be doing the Majors World Series instead with Lone Star at 7 p.m. on Saturday, May 23rd. Keep an eye on game day for all of the upcoming streams. In case you're like me and have the memory of a goldfish and will forget everything that I just said as soon as the stream turns off. Anyway, take care, everyone. That's going to do it for tonight. Hope you all have a marvelous rest of your week, and I will see you guys soon. Take care, guys.